And I was thinking, since the Animal Crossing update comes out on Thursday, I still have not cleaned up my island in preparation. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm just gonna be, it's gonna be kind of a Subway Surfers vibe. Like, I'm just gonna kind of be yapping while I try and clean up my island. And I ran into technical difficulties because Dan and I, you know, don't you hate when this happens? We own the Switch and the Switch 2. So annoying. And I wanted to use the Switch to play up here because Dan plays with the Switch 2 like almost every day. But I could not load my save data on the virtual card on the Switch, and it just was not working. And if even Dan can't figure out, it's not working. So now I'm playing with the Switch 2. So annoying. I'm playing with the Switch 2, but it's annoying because now every time I stream, I'm going to have to set it up and then take it down and put it back in the living room. And that's just really hard. That's like a really hard part of my day. Like, try being an influencer for a day. Try it. And so I was so discombobulated coming in today. I couldn't think straight. What a time. Oh, Nintendo sure does love to take my money. And it takes it. Yeah, so these virtual cards not really working out in my favor. Really not. Do. Also, another annoying thing. This is, Dan played first. And he played like a measly 60 hours on, is it gonna say this every time? What is happening? Now I'm gonna have a panic attack. But Dan set up the island, so I am like the secondary player, which just should not be the case because I'm the one who's putting the work. I've never seen a streamer's webcam look this well lit and just nice temperature and clarity wise. Well, thank you. Normally, people over here know that I tend to look like the blueberry girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory quite often. Like, my camera's auto white balance is not it sometimes. It doesn't work in my favor, but it's behaving so far. Also, Not Lizzie, thank you for the gift sub to Intrepid. Okay. It does work here. All right, no need to panic. Hang on, let me turn off the Animal Crossing music so you can hear the actual Animal Crossing music. So I wasn't able to... Oh, I can't hear it in my ears. Oh, I can, it's just quiet. So y'all let me know if the Switch volume is okay or not. Finally catching a stream with one of the people who had the VOD channel in their top 5. Oh my gosh, hi, welcome Graves in the Garden. I love that. It's 7:07 p.m. Okay, the time is basically correct. I don't have any big news to share. Isabel, it's been like years since I've spoken to you. Snowy days like today always put a chill in my bones that I just can't shake. Luckily, nothing warms my heart more than the sight of perfect little snowflakes. That's what you guys are. Sometimes I'll gently scoop them up with a net to look at their beautiful intricacies way up close. I wholeheartedly recommend that everyone get out there and try it yourselves. Then you can use the snowflakes to craft something truly wintry. And with that, I'll get back to work supporting you and your enjoyment of our island. I thought there'd be more of a, oh my gosh, it's you're back. But I guess not. All right, so, all right, my pockets are full. Let me dump this shiz so that we can get to cleaning. And also, let's get a fresh fit. I do have a tour of my Animal Crossing island up on the VOD channel. It has not changed since that time, if you're curious, but you'll see it anyways as I destroy it. Let's go. But I literally remember nothing that I own. Okay, I'm looking for inspiration. I do still love a twee look in Animal Crossing. That is the look I rock frequently. But it is winter. Oh, this kind of looks like that gay guy from Nancy Drew. That sweater. If you know, you know. Is that too much? Perhaps. And Benson Boy, welcome as well. Hello, everybody. Okay, okay. I have a sushi dress? What's all this stuff I got? Oh, a long pleather coat. That does seem more weather appropriate. Now this is art teacher for sure. I love it. I love it. As if I didn't already buy these things. Also, Kelly, hello, hello. I need to get some... The one thing I regret about LASIK is I really do miss getting to wear glasses as an accessory, because I kind of think that I rock the glasses. I want to get some non-prescription ones to wear, because I miss them. I feel like it was such a serve. Doo-doo. Okay, okay. This look does not really seem appropriate for the snow outside, but... Well, that's better. But actually, maybe I hate this shawl thing that I've got on. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. That seems right. I know, I don't even remember the fish suit. Oh my gosh. Marina, I don't have time. No, it's not a good time. You know Dan pronounces Marina's name Marina? And it took us a really long time to realize that that just can't be correct. We have all three of the octopi. I really wanted all three of them. Now, looking back, I'm like, that's a little excessive. I probably didn't need all three. So do you have any particular look in mind when you choose furniture for your home, queer? Marina, you can't say that. I just want to understand how your mind works, because I think I like what you've got going on here. All right, well, babes, I do have to... I can't empty my pocket because you're here. Yeah. I'll see you later. Actually, yeah, Marina could say that. That's true, that's fair. Oh, I thought this... Can I not store stuff here? Where's my storage? This room is not it. Oh, we're gonna be changing this as well. I'm not feeling this. Like, what is going on? What in the iCarly do I have going on here? Wait, where's just my normal storage? I actually don't remember. I know, the gamer chair is so meta. Do you press the D-pad button? No, well. Okay. That's how we... Maybe I just... Hang on. Hang on. We just put this in... I'm overthinking it. I'm doing too much. Put it in stowage. God bless the people who are like fully restarting the game though. I simply don't have the energy to be poor. And have they thought about that? I played this game back when you could do the free money hack where you could copy a bunch of the in-game Nintendo Switches. I was a millionaire by day 2. They patched that out real quick, the haters. nice, I just turnip farmed instead. I did that as well because it was fun at the beginning when everybody was playing, because Dan's coworkers would literally just text in the group chat whenever someone had high turnip prices, and we'd all run like our life depended on it. But yeah, I did go to London town, and it's interesting. So I've been before a few times just because I have friends who lived over there and I would visit them. And it was Dan's first time. So we did do all of like the touristy stuff, like seeing Big Ben and the bridges and going to the markets and stuff. And first of all, let me tell you, the number of people who were like, oh my gosh, are you going to go to the Harry Potter studios? I feel kind of bad because I do feel like some people genuinely just don't know that she's Crazy Boots, you know, like they just don't know. And I kind of, even just the mention of that, like awakens something in me that's not very pleasant. So I kind of just go on a rant to someone who is like truly just trying to make a suggestion. And I'm like, well, first of all, I have been, because, you know, it was 10 years ago and times were different. But second of all, no, I'm not going there, and I will not give this person my money. Also, like, Harry Potter is fiction, and those sets were just recreations. You can see actual history in London. There are other things to see. Fun fact, when I was a kid, I'd always seen Big Ben pictured with one of those red double-decker buses, so I thought the bus was Big Ben for a long time. You could go to Vancouver to see every movie set anytime. I know. Like, it's just, I don't know what the fuss was all about for people to be recommending that to me. Like, 3 different people. And I'm like, have you not heard the news? We don't mess with her like that anymore. We do not. I'm gonna need some storage items, though. I'm realizing. I'm gonna need, like, a fridge to be able to put aside. I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm probably actually all of that was probably for nothing because I'm not really gonna do anything with this particular area. The neighborhood, though, is getting all reworked. Gentrification in the works as we speak. I'll worry about those things later. I hate that nobody cares. Genuinely, a lot of people, like, who just aren't online like that don't know. Or, like, my dad didn't even know that the reboot was happening at all, you know? Like, some people just aren't tuned in like that. And so they thought they were just being nice and suggesting that. And I'm like, oh my God, you have awakened something in me that you do not even know. You do not even know what you've done. Dan had to tell me, you maybe could have told them a little more calmly. And I'm like, perhaps. Oh, do I have to go back to my house every time to unstore the thing? Oh, the fortune turtle. Sorry, fortune turtle. You're going down. Shakespeare versus J.K. Rowling, I know. But anyways, so we spent a lot of time walking around outdoors in like the cold wind. It's honestly not, the temperature's not that different from how it is in Maryland, but you're not outside all day, you know? Oh, Benson boy, thank you for the sub. And we were like, and it was all to see things that, are not particularly exciting to me. So I was getting a little bit, a little stressed, overstimulated. And I felt bad because I planned the itinerary. Like, Dan gave me a list of things that he wanted to do, and I put it together, as I do. Thank you for the Preminger scream. And Dan put the Sherlock Holmes Museum on the list. And the Sherlock Holmes Museum is £20 a person. Mind you, the Sherlock Holmes Museum is just like a random townhouse that they have recreated to look vaguely Victorian. Like, Sherlock Holmes isn't real, right? It's just a very small house that vaguely looks like it is owned by a fictional character. It was £20 per person. So like 25, maybe $30, $60 for the whole thing. And I'm talking with Dan in the gift shop before we get in there, and I'm like, so did you read any of the books as a kid? And he's like, no. And I'm like, did you watch the show? And he's like, no. I'm like, have you watched any of the movies? And he's like, no. And I'm like, then why are we here? And he's like, well, I thought you would want to see it. And I'm like, Dan, I have been here before. You put it on your list of things you wanted to see. Why would you put something on your list that you're not interested in? And I was like, and we had like, there's nothing over by the Sherlock Holmes house either. Like it's in a very boring part of London. And we just walked through the cold rain to get there. I'm like, okay. Now I'm pissed off. Also, the third floor of the Sherlock Holmes Museum, they just have like, what's even the material? Clay busts of all the people who played Sherlock. So they did have a Benedict Cumberbatch like little head up there, and someone had put a scarf as tribute. And there was like a tour, technically. There's like 3 rooms in this house, but there was a tour. And it's just a guy being like, and so this is where Sherlock Holmes would have solved his mysteries and done all these things and read his books. And now we're in his bedroom, and this is where he slept. And they put up pictures of serial killers, but they put up like American serial killers, like H.H. Holmes or whatever his name is, and Lizzie Borden, which I'm like, I don't know if Sherlock Holmes would have been following the Lizzie Borden drama. I don't even know if that's accurate, but it did make me laugh because someone on the tour asked if Sherlock Holmes was a real person. And the tour guide very sweetly said, you know, I like to believe that he was. No, British people famously don't have any serial killers. There's none notable in history, so. No, I love that. And the great thing about the British accent is you can't really tell the difference between when they're being sarcastic and when they're being sincere. So I couldn't even tell. And I don't think the person asking could tell. That did tickle me. That was a good one. But yeah, my primary reason for going on the trip was to see the Hunger Games 2024. 2024. They announced the Hunger Games on stage in 2024. That's why I said that. It got delayed until 2025. And I'd been hearing, I'm probably going to make an actual video on this, so I'm not going to give all of my thoughts per se. Content plug. But suffice to say that I had heard some fairly bad reviews about it, and particularly about the lead actress Katniss, and also just some of the costume designs and character choices. And I wanted to see it for myself, you know? I assume that it is going to come to America at some point. But I feel like they're testing it in London just because it's not as intensely competitive as like the Broadway scene. And also the West End on Broadway doesn't have this union rights, at least definitely not to the same degree as American actors do. So it's much easier to underpay all of the people developing the show. Hey, that's just a theory. An exploitation theory. So it's set up like an arena, and basically it's set up from the POV that you are the capital and you're watching the Hunger Games take place, but it's never really a commentary on how actually that's bad. It's a lot of action sequences and big spectacle and stuff. So it's kind of just like, and isn't this so fun, all these children murdering each other? Like they went through all that effort to build this arena. This did not exist before. It's in this random part of London too, like far away from the West End. So they could build this, like, it feels like a basketball court when you get in there. Uh, and Caesar Flickerman is like playing to the audience, which is a fun thing that you can do, you know, it being a stage play. But it felt like you were watching, based on both the movie and the books. It felt like mostly a lot of the dialogue was lifted directly from the books, but visually it leaned much more into the movie. But it had none of the sort of subtlety or political commentary of either. It was just a very dumbed down Hunger Games, if you would. Sorry, Nana, I'm taking this from you. And I did like that they have the peacekeepers. Their costumes make them look like they're the Squid Game guards. That's a good one. But yeah, it's like a lot of stunts. It's basically like you're watching medieval times, but it's Hunger Games themed. And there was a lot of controversy. Hang on. I'm slouching and I'm disappearing into the frame. As usual. Boop. I feel like my bangs always look a certain type of way too on camera, but whatever. Controversy around the actress who plays Katniss. And because she was doing press, she was doing a TikTok. She did a TikTok where she said that she's Team Gale. And you know how the Hunger Games fans feel about Gale. And they also in a different interview, she said that Katniss is fearless, and everyone's like, actually, Katniss is very afraid. That's her primary motivation. I think you meant that she's brave. You clearly don't have an understanding of the book. And while I'm not Team Gale, I'm not Team Gale. I also think that people took these comments that she clearly just made in passing a little bit too seriously. Because, let me tell you, isn't the main actor in The Handmaid's Tale, like, in Scientology, like, actively in a cult? And how about Jennifer Goodwin, when she was asked in Zootopia whether, like, if she sees any parallels between the story of Zootopia and basically Israel-Palestine, she was like, no, it's not based on anything. But, like, no one questions their ability to act in the show. Like, on a small level, yeah, maybe her being Team Gale is a little bit of a misinterpretation of the text. But if she can act, you know? There's a lot of people who don't fully understand the roles that they're playing, and it's fine, right? So I was trying to go in with an open mind and an open heart. She's also, like, a 21-year-old, like, debut actor, pretty much. I am not going to join the hate train because it feels a little bit too much like when everyone was going after Rachel Zegler for like saying some really basic takes about Snow White, and then no one could let that go for months. Like I've seen this film before. Unfortunately, her performance was crazy. It was crazy. She spoke in this, I think it's because she has a Liverpool accent and is speaking in an American accent, because a lot of other people in the play spoke like this as well. But she's like, I go out to hunt and there is Gale. Gale is my friend. People think that we're cousins, but we're not. Like this kind of almost transatlantic Marilyn Monroe voice. That was just a very strange speaking voice. And again, maybe that's just because, maybe if you're British, it doesn't sound that strange, but certainly as an American, it sounded really strange, and it did take me out. It did take me out a little bit. That sounds like nothing burgers of controversies in retrospect. Yeah, like... So I was kind of disappointed because I really did want to be like, y'all are crazy. She's fine. She also is... I feel like Nepo baby isn't the right word. Her dad is a really famous soccer player in the UK. So she grew up very wealthy. She didn't have connections in the acting community per se, but, you know, certainly has lived a very privileged life. So people have also been mentioning that as well. Honestly, I do feel kind of bad for the little rich girl. I do. Because I don't think people have nice things to say about her. And I think she's just clocking in at the end of the day. But I know that I'm sure the trust fund is helping things, I'm sure. Yeah, it was strange. And it was bad when I was walking out and literally everybody around me, who I assume are like fans of the Hunger Games. Like, you don't buy tickets to the Hunger Games on stage without being a fan, because it's just kind of a weird concept anyways. And they were all at best saying that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, this has been getting dogged on in the reviews. Absolutely dragged to filth. And it seems like everybody who bought their tickets were fully aware that they were in for a scam. But also, all of the seats were full. Like, it being bad does not seem to be deterring sales in any sort of way. And they had like 4 full-size bars that I passed in the lobby area. Everybody was buying up drinks. Everybody was getting a little lit at the Hunger Games on stage. And this was crazy to me. They had models of the stage, like the interview stage that you could do a photo op at, which is fun and cute, right? It's a little weird, but it's fun and cute. They also had a model of the hanging tree that you can take pictures at. And I'm like, I'm sorry, am I supposed to be posing up in front of the tree where they strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3? And in the actual, when you step into the stage area, they had like thematic music playing, but in the lobby area where all the bars are and where the hanging tree is, they're just playing normal music. So I'm not joking. They were playing Just Know You're Not Alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home. The perfect song to hear before you see children being murdered theatrically. Oh, but the best part, they spent all of their budget on John Malkovich being there strictly on FaceTime. Famed actor John Malkovich is there just on screen. And I guess that people are pissed enough about this alone that they have it on their FAQ page that John Malkovich is not there in person. But he's there on a giant LED screen, basically on FaceTime with everybody the whole time. And it's like pre-recorded dialogue. And I swear you can see his eyes moving from left to right, like he's reading the teleprompter. And at one point, Katniss stepped over John Malkovich's line. And so there was like a 10-second pause where her and John Malkovich were just sitting in silence. And you could see PETA, because his face wasn't lit up, he was like fully laughing. And I'm like, I feel like this is maybe something we could have cut from the show. Maybe something we could work around. But I feel like they probably can't fix it, because I imagine that John Malkovich's contract is locked in, that like he has to have an appearance and it has to look like so-and-so, you know? Or maybe they just spent so much money on it that they can't justify taking it out. Now imagine how good this would have been if they had made it a musical. See, they have a lot of like interpretive dance sequences. If you've seen, sorry to reference Harry Potter again, I saw The Cursed Child, not by choice. My mom bought me tickets. My mom bought me tickets to see it in like 2019. But that also has a lot of like weird interpretive dance scenes, and it felt the same where it so wants to be a musical, but it's not. It's a play, but it has the jarring dance as if it were a musical. And the thing is, I understand that The Hunger Games as a musical is a jarring concept. Like, that sounds crazy, but the thing is, the way they have it now is Katniss just straight up narrates like she's giving a TED Talk throughout the entire play. And it's when she's speaking in the voice like this. She's like, I'm so nervous about Prim getting reaped. Oh boy, I'm going to the Capitol now. I'm gonna die. And they have to do it like that because Katniss, so much of the book is her internal monologue, and this isn't zoomed in like a movie, so you know you can't rely on the subtleties that a movie has. But if they had music, song is a great way to convey people's inner dialogue without it sounding really forced and unnatural. And it's like they're already doing the weird dance sequences. So to me, it's like you're already weirding out people who are no fun and don't like musicals anyway, just by having these dance sequences. So you should have gone all the way. I also think that Suzanne Collins, with all of the music that she incorporates into the books, I feel like she does want to make a musical. I feel like she does. She also did not write the book. She didn't write the script for this play. I don't know how much she was honestly involved in it. The cast said that she came and visited and like signed stuff for them, but it doesn't seem like in the day-to-day she was directly involved. But I feel like she would be all about it, you know? I feel like she wouldn't be the one saying no. Is there enough tea on this for there to be a YouTube video? I want to make a YouTube video. It's, I do have to work on my January video right now at the moment. I filmed for 4.5 hours talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's not going to be 4 hours. Calm down. It's already down to 2 hours. I just didn't film very efficiently, let's just say. But I need to get that done in time for the sponsor deadline is a little bit earlier than what I normally do. So that's kind of my main priority. I can't get sidetracked with the Hunger Games. I wanted to make the Hunger Games video. Like, that's honestly why I flew out. Like, I wanted to make a full video on the main channel. But now I feel like it's not enough people would be interested in it, or / there's maybe not enough to like the drama. Like, it's not bad Cinderella levels of intrigue. But I do have a side channel that I literally never post on. And I'm like, maybe I could just put that on there. Because there are several videos I am like, man, if I had time, I would post that on a side channel. I need to get an editor. I really do. I need to delegate because I just don't give myself enough time to do things. And it's really not necessary. Like, I could be making more stuff if I just accepted help from literally anybody, but I am so allergic to that. I'd watch the crap out of this Hunger Games video. It's gonna come. It's gonna come in some form. I promise. Boop, 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 boop. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. All right, I feel like this cleansing is going well. To be fair, we haven't fixed any of the terraforming just yet. And that's, I feel like, what's really gonna be the beast. What's really gonna be the beast? Oh, I mean, honestly, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we have so much more to do. We're behind. We're literally a week behind. We're 2 weeks behind, in fact. We do like that those channels that post once a year, though, Defunctland TRO. See, the thing about, I feel it on a very small level, posting once a month, but when you're posting once a year, I imagine the stakes are even higher. Like, I feel like Jenny Nicholson talks about this on her Patreon, that if your video that you're posting, like if it's your one for the year, if it's not excellent and if it doesn't perform as well, as insanely well as her other videos have, it can really like hurt her, you know? And I feel that just posting once a month, like sometimes I get like weirdly insecure about whether videos are going to be good enough, because I'm like, this is my video for the month, you know? And that's why I wanted the side channel, so I can post stuff like that. I'm actually going to leave the orchard. Like, I would, if I could, I feel like posting once a year would be great, but I also feel like I don't have ideas that justify it taking a year per se. But also financially, I just would not be able to do that because I don't got it like that. I honestly do like posting once a month because I do feel like to some extent having a deadline and a schedule pushes you creatively. Like, yes, if I had all the time in the world, could my videos be marginally better? Yeah, but it's like diminishing returns, you know? Do. I don't remember if you ended up hiring a researcher or if you're doing it all yourself still. So I did, and she helped with the Hailey Bieber video, and she's given research for other projects, but I have not filmed them. And that's not because of her research. I just change my mind pretty frequently. Or I'll have her do research and then I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to make this into a video. So, but I've also just been doing a lot of like TV shows or things that I already just have a personal awareness of without needing to do a ton of external research. So I have worked with her, but it's only like 2 or 3 times. She does great work. It's not her. It's also, once again, I have a hard time delegating things. That's also part of it. It's also hard to it's hard for me to ask for research on things because pretty much most of the videos that I make are topics that I already have some sort of pre-existing knowledge on, because I feel like it shows when you're already authentically interested in a topic rather than just sort of going where your audience wants you to go, or the algorithm or whatever. So sometimes it's hard to ask for research because it's like, I feel like I could just do it myself. Would that take time that I could just hand it over? Yes, but I'm also a control freak. That's why it's honestly taken me so long to get an editor, because I am so disorganized. I don't label any of my files. I don't timestamp things. Like, I would have to learn how to hand things over in a way that someone else could understand in order to get an editor. And that would not take me that long, realistically, but that's enough to stop me from doing it for a long time. But it is a consistent thing. And I'll talk to my manager and I'll be like, I think it's time. I think I actually want to get an editor. And they'll be like, okay, so we'll start like collecting people's resumes, because sometimes people will reach out and email me and offer their work, which is I really appreciate. And then I'll be like, actually, I changed my mind. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like a really exhausting person to work with because I'm so anxious about everything. I'm like, actually, no, I'm too stressed to deal with that. I'm gonna put that off. I know Giru is an editor. I think I talked to Giru about editing like a while back. Like, she's someone I've kept in mind. I also do have like a real life friend who edits that I would probably reach out to as well, but I'm also open to other people. It is just a little bit easier with people that you have some sort of pre-existing knowledge of. Just building that relationship, but you know, that can also come. Would you mix business with IRL people? So when I say IRL people, I mean like a friend from high school. You know, like, they're a friend, but they're not like my partner, or it's not that serious. And like, Giru is like an internet friend, you know. I also would think that, I feel like it wouldn't go that bad, because I also have friends who do like get editing from people they're close to, or research assistance through people they just know in real life, and you know, a lot of people don't have problems. it would surprise you. Like I remember there was one person I talked to and I felt kind of bad in hindsight because they told me they work with a lot of their friends. Like they built their YouTube channel and then featured a lot of their friends, and now their friends are basically their employees. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds really stressful. And I felt like that. I felt like I shouldn't have said that out loud because I'm like, oh, I would be worried about your friendships. But they're like, no, it's literally fine. I'm like, right. Until it's not. I feel ya. Like I would not want Dan working for me. He is my tech support, but and that's enough. Put that in there. So gay people really popped off with Heated Rivalry, didn't they? I remember I was thinking of watching the show in November, and then with the holidays I got so busy. Like I feel like I have not been sitting still for the past 3 weeks, so I've just completely missed it. I also need to start watching the new season of Traitors US. I originally wasn't going to watch it, but now Rob and Lisa Rinna are traitors together, and that kind of is everything to me. So I'm gonna just have to deal with the fact that Colton is on that show, which he should not be, but clearly cancel culture is dead because no one cares about Colton stalking his ex-partner, her getting a restraining order against him. Like no one cares about that. He can just have 5 different reality shows. Like, ugh, can't stand that man. God, I hate the Traitors. It's so dumb. Oh, it is. It's a broken game. So if you don't know Traitors, the game format is basically like Mafia. And so there are people who are secret traitors and they're killing off people, the faithfuls, the innocents. And the faithfuls have to take turns finding out who the traitors are. And when they get to the finale, if a traitor has managed to get in with the winning group, the traitors win the money. But if it's only faithfuls, then the faithfuls win the money. And the thing about that, I've only watched the US version, which just has celebrities. I think in every other franchise, it's normal people, and then there's a different celebrity traitors. I don't think I could watch the regular traitors where it's normal working class people, because having to lie to people so that you can get like $100,000, $250,000? Like, I do feel like my feelings would get hurt. You know what I mean? I do feel like if I was a faithful and was so excited and thought I was going to get all this money, and then I found out that someone I thought I trusted had betrayed me. Yes, in a game, but like still, I would be kind of upset. Like, I would take it personally. Alan Cumming wrote a weird book on the topic involving male genitalia and a sanitary tradition. I think Traitors Canada is also a reality show, has-beens. Yeah, so Traitors celebrities, the US Traitors is a little bit odd because there's a mix of people, and there's people who are like from Survivor or Big Brother who want to play the game very seriously. Like, are game players for sure. And then there are like housewives who truly are just there for the pasta, like, and also don't care about the prize pool at all. And there was a lot of weird tension last year because to someone like a Real Housewife, is it 100K or 250K? That prize is really like a drop in the bucket, right? But to some of the other people who hadn't been on reality TV in like 20 years, that amount of money is more meaningful. And there were people who were seemingly taking the game a little personally last year, and it got kind of weird. And also the fan base got kind of weird. But the thing about traders is the game is fundamentally broken because there is no reason for the faithfuls to expose a traitor early on. Because the thing is, when they get rid of a traitor, the game just puts in they just pick a different person to be the traitor. Like there's always going to be 3 or 4 traitors. So last year, it seems it's not a clear, explicit rule, I think, but it's not in the spirit of the game, I would say. Basically, everybody could tell that this one woman was a traitor. And so they just didn't go after her at all because they knew that she wouldn't go after them. It's called like a traitor angel, I think is the official, unofficial term. And so it's just kind of lame to watch because this one traitor thinks that they're playing a really epic game, tricking everybody when it's like, I don't think you have anybody fooled, but you just have to stick around for 10 episodes and get out people who I genuinely enjoy watching. Oh wait. Tory Latte. Just a little tip from a lurker. If you use the storage shed, you can just select items to put in your storage and you can place it outside so you can access your storage anywhere. Thank you. I did think I remembered that being the case, but I could not figure it out. Oops. Hang on. How do I get up my storage? Oh my god. All right, do I have a storage shed though? That's the question. Clothes closet. Boop. You gotta buy enough from Nook Miles to get the DIY recipe. Ugh, work. You can craft them if you have the recipe. Maybe I do. It seems like surely something I would. But who knows? I'm like working up a sweat. Working up a sweat doing all this. Where are my crafting recipes? That's the other question. Where's my crafting table? Other question. Sorry, I got distracted. Why are you talking about circumcision? Now, why are we talking about circumcision? I can't say I have opinions on Alan Cumming either way, but I sure am learning information. I sure am. Oh, you know what else I've been doing this year, though? I'm rereading the Twilight series. And I'm enjoying myself. It took me a while because it was on hold because so many other people are also rereading it. And the thing is, in the first Twilight book, like, yes, the relationship between Edward and Bella, toxic, fundamentally unhealthy. But I can see why it appeals to teenage girls because Edward is just obsessed with this teenage girl, for her truly doing the bare minimum, like just existing. And she's like such a klutz and she's afraid of needles. And he's like, oh my God, you're so crazy. You are like no woman I've ever met on Earth before. And I've lived for several hundred years. And I'm like, yeah, I remember why this got me so good. I feel like I did used to own a physical copy, but I clearly downsized at some point. Maybe I don't have the storage shed. Doesn't seem like I do. I should just do alphabetical. The first Twilight movie with the green palette is such a comfort film. I genuinely think the first movie is good. I genuinely think they cooked with that. I made Dan watch all of the Twilight movies, and he really enjoyed himself. I have a recording of him watching the final battle scene in Breaking Dawn. That man was screaming. I would post it, but also my dogs are out, just out on full display. So that footage can go nowhere. But he's like, oh my gosh, they killed Carlisle? So upset, so stressed. We had a great time rewatching the movies. That was a few years ago. Maybe I should get him to rewatch again. But I'm about to start New Moon. Really enjoyed listening to Twilight, though. I really did. I guess I gotta censor it. I do. Oh my gosh, wait, I gotta tell y'all about the airplane ride back home. Hang on. I gotta show you a picture of something crazy that happened to me on the airplane. And I mean, I guess y'all let me know if I'm delusional or not. I think it was crazy. So on the flight there, the seats were randomly assigned because we got the basic economy seats. So Dan and I were not sitting next to each other, and we're not little babies who are going to walk up to strangers and be like, can we switch seats, please? You know, like we're just going to deal with it. But on the way back, I got sat between these two men, and one was a rugby player, or at least I assume that he's a rugby player because he had like a rugby wristband on, and he also just had the build of a rugby player, right? And there was this other guy next to me who was maybe like, I don't know, 5'10", like a size that's like comfortable enough to sit in the seats maybe, but just barely. And he was fully sitting like this. I'm in the middle, by the way. I did not get either armrest from these two guys. And at first, the rugby guy was doing fine. Like, he was sort of leaning away and trying to make space for me, which I understand that, let's just say, capitalism is a beast because they deregulated all of this stuff, and the seats are too small for anybody. Like, I am very lucky that I am like a 5'4" woman and I can fit into the seats with relative comfort. That is not the case for other people, and certainly not for like the guy I was sitting next to. It did get to a point though. Oh, where is it? Do I have a normal screen? The silence. Hello? Oh, here it is. It did get to a point where he was spread out like this for, I would say, the last 5 hours of the flight. And I want to make it clear that he could sit comfortably, not like that. This is him when he's like slouched down like this. If like the meals would come around and he would sit up and he wouldn't be in my space. But that was happening. And I was too nervous to say anything because I was like, I don't know if I'm being unreasonable because I understand that the seats are uncomfortable. Now looking back, I'm like, you should not have been touching my leg. Like you shouldn't have been touching me. You shouldn't have been touching me. And then it gets worse because the other guy next to me, there was turbulence, and I'm not kidding you, he reached out and instinctively, I'm going to say instinctively, giving him the benefit of the doubt, grabbed my leg. Luckily, I had this big jacket on my lap, so there wasn't like direct leg contact, but I just kind of feel like that was the worst flight of my life. And I definitely thought about calling the flight attendants or like going over to the flight attendants, but it got to a point like several hours in where I'm like, I feel like it was like a sunk cost fallacy, you know? And because I was in the middle seat, I couldn't call them to the seat because I didn't want to embarrass them. I was trying to be nice and I didn't want to embarrass them. But it got to a point. Oop. Let So, moral of the story is, I think it's worth paying for regular economy and United so I can sit next to Dan. Yeah, it's fine. It's at the end of the day, it's fine. But that was just kind of crazy to me. I apologize for men. Thank you. Not all men. But a little too many for comfort. Kepler, thank you for the sub. Maybe get a private jet. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. Took the words right out of my mouth. I know, I got Taylor Swift money. Absolutely. How do I... How do we get into terraforming again? Oh, like this. Hang on. Let's get to work. I had a man flirt with me and ask if I was 30 out of nowhere. You are not. You're 30. That's the problem. They make it worth paying extra for a tiny bit more comfort, but making cheap options untenable. I know. It was pissing me off. It was pissing me off because it's like you're making me have to bow down to capitalism. Like y'all are giving me no choice. It is unfortunate. Okay, well, this is gonna be a pain. This is gonna be a pain to take down. Okay, well, that's not what I meant to do. Hang on. I remember how to play this game. There you go. What's the vision for island renovation? Right now, we're just flattening. Right now, we're just destroying. I will be the first to say I am really not good at designing in Animal Crossing, or I think in video games generally. I just don't have the aesthetic and the planning. And I remember I was so excited about terraforming when this game came out that I made so many unnecessary like spots where you have to jump through water to get to something, or like way too many rivers, way too many random hills that go to nowhere. Like just functionally really poor design, but it felt like too much work to do anything about it. And so this is a good opportunity for me to undo what I've done. Late to the combo, but as someone who's 5'10", that dude was out of line, Laval. See, I don't know. Planes are uncomfortable, but I keep my damn legs to myself. See, I feel like maybe you just, like, not other people aren't thinking about these things, unfortunately. Because the thing is, I get that it's uncomfortable, like these planes are uncomfortable, but I was uncomfortable. Like, I was shriveled up like this because they had both the armrests and were both leaning in towards me. So, like, I'm just asking that it be reciprocal, you know? I just want it to be like, if I'm making an effort, you're also making an effort. That's all I ask. And they're just not supposed to get armrests. Wipeout 2008 Island. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe. It isn't just a walking lawsuit waiting to happen, this island. I need to dye my hair again so no one talks to me. I never get flirted with in public when my hair is dyed. True. I think about, you know, I went through a phase maybe a month or two ago where I was thinking about dyeing my hair pink or blue. But the thing is, I know you can sort of Photoshop and get an idea, but it's going to destroy my hair. And I just don't know if I could actually pull it off. And if it if I did it and it looked horrible, I would cry. Because y'all remember the fucking skunk hair that I had, which I hated the second I got, but Dan was like, no, it looks cute. You're just, you're just always so hard on yourself, which, Dan, this is so nice, but no, I hated it. I didn't like it. I shouldn't have had it, but I felt like I spent all this money at the salon, and then I fried my own hair because I didn't like how the salon did it. Because I can't communicate and use my words like an adult. And so it looked terrible. I can't get myself into that situation again. Does Accutane dry out hair like it dries out skin? Because you definitely shouldn't while on that as well. Yes, it sure does. I feel like I only have to wash my hair once a week or something, which maybe that's a normal amount for other people. Before I could barely go 2 days without having to wash my hair. And I know people say that you can train your hair to need washing less. I just don't believe you. At least with my hair. That just was not true. Just not true. Especially with bangs too. Like with bangs, even the slightest bit of oil, they're looking busted. Doop, boop, boop. Sorry, fish. You have to treat it right, but I've been able to, train your hair? Yeah, I'm also so ready to be off Accutane. Don't get me wrong, it's working. It is. But the thing about Accutane, I mean, there's several things about Accutane. It's a pretty intense drug. One, if I open my mouth in the morning, like if I go to yawn before I put lip balm on, I crack the corner of my lips. So I do permanently, or at least permanently as long as I'm on Accutane, have these like Joker scars at the end of my lips that hurt real bad if I eat something spicy, or if they touch anything, or if I open my mouth too wide. It's just kind of painful. And also, the last time I did Accutane was when I was a teenager, and I just feel like your body is more prepared to handle inflammation and stuff. Like my joints hurt so much more. I don't remember my joints hurting the previous time. Also, my cholesterol was up for like the first time in my life, which I learned the hard way that Accutane messes with your cholesterol. So I have to actually like eat right. It's so horrible. I have to actually like take care of what I'm putting in my body. And that's the worst part. That's the worst part. Do. I will say I'm enjoying the alcohol break that I'm taking with it. I don't think you have to strictly cut off alcohol with Accutane, but it's just so hard on your liver that I felt like I might as well. And it's been a nice reset for me. I don't know if I'll be like sober when I get off of Accutane, but certainly drinking less, and I feel like that's always a good thing. So it's a net positive at the end of the day. The process is rough though. That's what the drugs are supposed to fix? I don't think so, because I think part of it is like your cholesterol is connected to your liver. I don't know, I'm not a doctor though. Have you tried Bepanthen? I don't even know what that is. Accutane is a young man's game. I mean, I know. I told y'all about that one dermatologist who refused to give it to me. Because she was like, well, you have hormonal acne and sometimes it doesn't work for hormonal acne. And I was like, okay, well, I know the risks. I've taken it before and I'm fine with that. And she's like, no, see, you took it before. And so that means that it failed. And I'm like, I took it 11 years ago and I started breaking out again like 2 years ago. I would call 10 years of clear skin a success, but I guess it's relative. So anyways, I got a different dermatologist. That was the dermatologist who, when I tried to tell her that Winlevi wasn't covered by my insurance and it would cost like $100+ a month for me to get it, she said, is $40 a month not affordable to you? Which is a crazy thing to ask, because I do think $40 a month for skincare for the rest of your life is not affordable to some people. So, hey, maybe watch your tone with that. But also, she was just wrong because she wasn't listening to me. It wasn't going to be $40. It was going to be multiple hundreds of dollars, the regime that she recommended to me. My fiance went back on it last year and they're 29. Yeah, there definitely are people who take it older. And I mean, the reason I took it is because while I do have hormonal acne, I can't be on hormonal medication because it's just the opposite of what's good for you when you have POTS. Like the hormonal medication that you take is called spironolactone, and it is a diuretic. It makes you dehydrated. It also makes you retain less salt, and it lowers your blood pressure, which are all things that cause your POTS to flare up. So I couldn't take a high dose because it would make me genuinely sick. And honestly, even the small dose I took was not ideal. So I was like, I can't be on this forever. And there is like a topical version of the hormonal thing that is supposedly less intense side effects wise, but it's newer and it's not covered by my insurance anyways. So that also just wasn't an option. So yeah, I don't miss being on spironolactone. I also had to be careful. I couldn't eat things with too much potassium in it because I guess spironolactone makes you store more potassium in your body. So I couldn't have, like, I had to be careful about how many potatoes I had. I know you think bananas, but it was like avocados, potatoes. I love potatoes. And also my like liquid IV or, you know, my electrolyte drinks are all potassium. Like that's just a core ingredient of an electrolyte drink, which again, I need for POTS. Speaking of not getting covered by insurance, I get my wisdom teeth out in 2 weeks. Are you paying for that out of pocket? I love taking spironolactone for acne because I feel like I'm kissing all my trans sisters on the lips. See, and that's beautiful. And that's beautiful. I wish I could have tolerated it because it certainly is less intense than what I'm currently doing. Darth Maul's legs, hi, welcome. Oh my gosh, Intrepid. Are you nervous? Are you nervous about getting put under? It'll be okay. I've told y'all that I don't think I could ever do meth, could you believe? Or any sort of a highly addictive drug, because I just enjoy the sensation of being put to sleep too much. Like, you know, I have never felt stillness and joy and peace and serenity the way I feel when I got put out for the colonoscopy and for my wisdom teeth. I've binge watched all the Nancy VODs, but haven't caught a live stream until tonight. Well, I'm glad you're here. We're cleaning. We're prepping for the Animal Crossing update. Oh, you are not feeling peace on meth? Yeah, probably not. It's, you know, I'll just say, controversial opinion. Maybe those kind of drugs aren't for me. Honestly, weed isn't even for me. That makes me anxious. I think you mean heroin, not meth, queen. So what you're saying is I could take meth and it would be fine. In the words of Christina from Grey's Anatomy, someone sedate me. Yeah, I love that. I love getting put to sleep. It's the best. Also, uniquely queer experience. Anyone else get their wisdom teeth taken out and was deeply anxious about accidentally coming out to their family while high? I don't think I did, but I also don't think that my mom would have mentioned it to me anyways. Not even that my mom was homophobic. That's just like, that's not the circumstance you want that to happen. Honestly, I didn't even remember what I acted like during my wisdom teeth, like, or after. I thought that I acted completely normal, but then my mom told me that this was briefly after Prince died, for context, that I refused to take the pain medications that they offered me because I was like, That's what took Prince down. I'm not going down like Prince. I refuse. And I kept saying that over and over again. And my mom was like, okay, you don't have to take it. Also, that's not how that works. Rest in peace, Prince. He was obviously fresh on my mind in the moment. But I have no memory of that at all. I asked if I could keep mine and my dentist laughed in my face. Oh, I got your wisdom teeth. Not fresh, Prince. Oh my gosh, rest in peace, Prince. Now I'm sad about that again. Now I'm sad about that. I remember my sister was really mean when she got her wisdom teeth out. We were sitting in the lobby afterwards. I don't know why. We were waiting for something. And there was a kid crying, you know, as the kid does in a dentist office. And my sister just points at them and goes, oh my God, shut up. And we're like, Sarah, you can't say that. Sarah, you can't say that. You're so real for that, but also you can't. And then we went to Chick-fil-A to get her a milkshake. And my mom was like, oh, and also you don't have to give us a straw because, you know, you can't suck through a straw with your wisdom teeth. But they gave a straw anyways. And Sarah was like, the second that she sees screaming to the level that the Chick-fil-A person can definitely hear her being like, oh my God, this idiot gave me a straw. I can't have a straw. And we're like, well, you don't have to use the straw, Sarah. Just be grateful for the milkshake. I know, worst thing Chick-fil-A as a company has ever done. I just started my master's in public health. Oh my gosh, amazing. With a focus on disability advocacy. And apparently I said very loudly when I came out of the office door that the office door was really heavy and not ADA compliant. See, I think maybe the wisdom teeth the laughing gas just makes you speak the truth. Because so far, you know, no lies were spilled. I remember my dad like actually got annoyed at my sister though, because she was being so Charlie XCX bratty. I don't know why the drugs made her react that way, but it was just so funny because my dad genuinely got pissed, and it's like, she is inebriated. She is an inebriated child, and you at your big age is getting like actually pissed off because she's complaining about the Chick-fil-A straw. Now, come on. Have you seen about the Charlie mockumentary? I mean, I know that there was something coming out, right? But is it already out? I didn't know it was a mockumentary. I thought it was just another, like, doc featuring Rachel Sennett. Have we talked about this before? Or maybe I'm just so used to the discussions of Rachel Sennett. It premieres at Sundance. Oh. Was not aware. I don't know. I kind of have I don't know. I would have reservations about that. I just kind of feel like film is not Charlie's area of expertise, but she has other people helping. You think I want to play boom clap at a fucking college? Are you joking? Did you see her Substack? Her Substack article that got like flamed on Twitter? Apparently people did not like, people could not handle her writing style. She has a Substack. I think she just made one, and she made an essay, and people were like, what is this, girl? What is this? I didn't read the Substack article. It's been too long for me to remember what it was, but, you know, you can be talented in one area and very deficient in others. Like me, I don't know my lefts and my rights. And I never will at this point. Everything else, though, I'm perfect at. It's really convenient, though. I thought this song was big in Germany. I'm more excited about Charlie being in a Greg Araki movie. Does he have any other movies that I'd be familiar with? The name doesn't ring a bell. Who wants to hear a pop star's Substack? The concept of Charlie XCX being a pop star now. I love that clip of her on the Chinese singing show. She talks about it. See, I loved pre-mainstream fame, like gay famous Charlie XCX, because they just had her doing anything to promote the damn album, didn't they? They had her in the kitchen. They had her interviewing people on the streets. They had her styled in all kinds of crazy things. Just doing whatever, really. Smiley Face, Mysterious Skin, The Doom Generation, and The Living End. I have seen none of those, but I'm also not a cinephile, unfortunately. Oh, right, Hotchkiss, you can be on the ground floor at Sundance. Get in there. Investigative journalism. Yeah, I want Charlie XCX back in the kitchen. You heard it here first. You heard it here. Now, these bridges are a little bit more of a problem because I do think it's a little more... I have to go to Isabel, right, to get these taken down. I'll worry about that later. Because how am I going to get the stores down back on the ground level? Because they're the stores. I probably have to pay to get them moved, don't I? Yikes. Any Mitski heads in the chat? Doo-doo. What's the Poto tour? The POTO tour? I'm lost. See, I know nothing. Phantom of the Opera tour! Oh my gosh, yes! Yes! You know, Andrew Lloyd Webber did kind of eat with that one little thing. He did. I loved the Phantom for touring. He was excellent. So hot. So hot, but also the vocals so dreamy. I love. I also just think, I mean, he was very talented regardless, but I do think that the role is enhanced by him being a person of color. Like, I do feel like that adds to the story in a way that the Phantom being played by a white person doesn't necessarily. But it was so good. And, you know, unfortunately, it's that one little song where they're like, na 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 na, na, you know, the Phantom of the Opera. It's really cunty. It's really cunty. And I love that when Raoul chases after Christine in the dungeon, before he goes over there, he takes off his jacket and unbuttons his shirt to like the bottom button. So he's just looking as slutty as possible when he's rescuing her. And I'm like, Andrew Lloyd Webber had a vision and he was correct with that vision. Oh, you mean like Jacob Elordi playing Heathcliff? Yeah. That movie's coming out soon. I'm very curious about that. Someone did, I know someone on TikTok made a video that I thought was interesting. I don't know if I fully agree, but I also, for context, have not actually read Wuthering Heights, so I don't feel like I fully should deserve to have a main opinion on it. But she was talking about how basically Wuthering Heights, because of all of the time skips and stuff, is impossible to adapt anyways. And so not doing a faithful adaptation and doing something more creative is sort of necessary to some extent, or why a lot of the other Wuthering Heights film and TV productions haven't been successful. And she said that she appreciates the race-blind casting in the story because Heathcliff, he is the one person of color in the story, but she also says that he's like a terrible person. So like the other actors, like the other characters being people of color instead, she said she understands why people are upset, but she also thinks that maybe it's like a net positive in that way. But I am simply not a fan of Emerald Fennell. Me neither, girl. Me neither. But again, have not... First of all, I'm a white person, so... / not Romani. I have no input on that, but also haven't read the book, so I'm not the authority on any of that. I want to before I see the movie so that I can be appropriately pissed off. The costumes look really cool. Emerald Fennell is really good with her visuals. I don't know if it's like a consistent cinematographer and stylist team that she works with, but she nails that. She is so good at aesthetics. And I would say nothing else. I think she's, you know, she's got the mind of someone who was raised on Tumblr, but is also an elite, a very elite person. So, you know, maybe it's not equipped to do class commentary in the way that she thinks that she can. I also don't, I know people like Promising Young Woman, but I don't like Promising Young Woman either. Sorry about it. I haven't watched Killing Eve, so I can't really comment on that. It's also interesting because Margot Robbie is an executive producer for this movie, yeah? That's why she's Kathy. Who knows? Yeah, sorry. Sorry. The lakes are drying up. Global warming. No fishing around here. First season is great. The rest was awful, boring, unwatchable. I probably am not going to watch it at this point. Making Heathcliff white undermines a lot of interesting nuance, I guess is all. Yeah. That's what I've gathered from people as well, like it being important to the story. I don't know. It seems like from all of the promotional material, it just seems like it's like Emerald Fennell made a concept period piece just with the IP of Wuthering Heights, you know? So it's like, is that even the story that's going to be told in the movie? I genuinely have no idea. And I think she's intentionally keeping it vague for that purpose. I wish I could have read Wuthering Heights in high school. I feel like that's a book you read in high school. But, especially in my German school, we didn't really read a ton of classic literature. I remember our 9th grade book was Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I have not read since 9th grade. That's like a modern book, which I thought was an unusual choice. We did read Great Gatsby in year 10 or grade 10, 10th grade. Can I speak like an American, please? Sorry, I've been in England so long. And my teacher definitely was a proponent of the theory that Nick Carraway was gay. I love that he introduced that to me. Mr. McDonald. It's Mr. McDonald without the D. He would get very pissed off if you pronounced it like that. Year 10 is crazy. I don't know why I blanked on what the American word for it is. But we read like a lot of Shakespeare. We read a lot of plays. Like I read A Streetcar Named Desire, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Death of a Salesman, but also Shakespeare. We read Much Ado About Nothing, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, not Hamlet, actually. Boop, boop, boop. We read a lot of plays. They had us read Columbine in junior year. What an intense choice. I mean, reading The Curious Incident definitely enhanced your experience at the Sherlock Holmes Museum. I know there's like a stage play of it too, right? Which I've heard that's really good. Reading the plays was always my favorite. We read them aloud in class, and my theater kid ass always volunteered for the big speaking roles. Yeah, we would do that too. That was always fun. Do. Because we would read plays or like rehearse plays in theater class, but we would also do them in English class. And my school also did Shakespeare in the garden every year. So they would do scenes from different Shakespeare plays and we'd audition for it. I never participated, but my friends did it. So there's like a lot of Shakespeare that I've seen scenes from that I haven't seen all the way. I love reading a play. Last year I read The Flick, which I highly recommend. I got the script at the Drama Store in New York City, which is like the theater bookstore owned by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's one of those plays where it's like nothing happens, so everything happens, you know? It's set in 2013, and it's just about these three people who work at a old, decrepit movie theater. And it's like, you know how when you work a random sort of minimum wage job in your early 20s or your teenage years, and you just become friends with someone you'd never interact with in real life, like it's like a 40-year-old guy from Jersey and then like a older, cool queer woman, and they all work together, and it's like their friendship is really intense in some ways, but also very fixed in the circumstance of them having a job together. I really liked it. The dialogue felt really, really natural, and I looked up if there was a pro shot or anything, and sadly there isn't. So I just have to keep an eye out for maybe somewhere in DC to do it someday. Because I'm blanking on the name of the author, but she's a very popular playwright. And apparently she's just very against pro shots of her plays, which I think is sick and twisted, but I liked her work. And the great thing about reading plays is it counts the same on Storygraph as reading a full-ass book. You can read that in a couple hours, you know? The lack of pro shots in general drives me crazy. I know. Slime Tutorial hates to see me coming. And to some extent, I get pro shots are never a substitute for seeing it in person, because one of the great things about theater is you choose what you're focusing on, whereas when it's filmed, the camera is choosing for you. So you may not be able to take in the whole impact of everything. And seeing something live is just, an experience in itself. But at least you get an idea with the pro shot. At least you get something. And for many people, if they don't live near a big city, that's kind of their only opportunity. Like, not every show even tours either. So it's like not reasonable to expect people to drop hundreds of dollars, one, on getting to New York, but also then buying the tickets, which are usually upwards of $100 or more. It's sad. Because also, the real twisted part of it is they film promo material for the musical usually. And so more than likely there is like pro shots of a lot of shows that haven't been released, but they're not edited together. They're just sitting in the New York Library archive somewhere, and they're not accessible. Because they basically film the whole thing so that they can edit together a trailer. And then they do nothing with it. They could be making money off of it, but they don't. I don't know. I think it also maybe just has implications with the unions, because Broadway is so unionized, which we love. But maybe the union rules just haven't caught up with the need for pro shots at all. I've never seen a professional play, only amateur productions. And I love those too. It's not an amateur production, but I'm seeing Paranormal Activity, the play, in DC in a few weeks, which I don't know if, you guys probably haven't. You guys probably don't follow niche theater things like me to the same extent, but I've heard really amazing things about it. It's based on the movie Paranormal Activity, and Matt Pat, Game Theory Matt Pat, produced a horror play that ran on Broadway a few years ago, and it's made by the same team that worked with MatPat. And the set is just like a dollhouse version, like you're looking into this house, and it's basically like a lot of magic tricks, you know, like there are going to be so many special spooky effects to show this house being haunted. It's supposed to be really cool. It's playing in London right now. It's playing in DC for the next few weeks if you want to go. Didn't Swell do a video on the MatPat play? Yeah, I think I watched that too. It was in Chicago and LA. So if you're in near those cities, unfortunately, you have missed it. But I'm hoping that it'll get picked up and go to Broadway at some point, because I'm really looking forward to it. Also, well, the one weird thing though about, I bought tickets. It's not at the Kennedy Center. We're not giving our money to the Kennedy Center, first of all. It's at, what's it called? I think it's called like Shakespeare & Co. Theater in DC. And I'll buy Spange Boob. And you couldn't pick your specific seats, but you could buy tiers of tickets, right? And, you know, I like my plays, and it's not on Broadway, so the tickets are not crazily priced. So I just picked the second tier, like not the most expensive tier. And I'm like, because I feel like anywhere that they place me in the second tier is going to be a good seat, right? They send me the tickets, and they have placed me in the front row, which maybe on first glance sounds like a good thing. But anybody who is invested in theater knows that that is actually the worst place that you can be to watch a show, because it's like sitting in the front row of a movie theater. You know, you're craning your neck, things are cut off, and it's just like you can't get a full view of anything. And also, I just don't want to accidentally be making eye contact with the actors. Like, I actually don't need to be that close where I'm in the splash zone of their spit. So I had to call them and be like, hey, can you give me different tickets? And so now I'm in like row 5, which is nice. They did fix it for me. I think there was like a charge to change your tickets, but I think they just waived it because they were like, the person on the phone was being nice. And also just being nice to customer service gets you a long way, where I was just like, yeah, I really wanted to be anywhere but the front row. And he's like, I get you. I understand. Cause like, I wouldn't even have thought that was an option. I would have thought that the most expensive tier would have been, I think they may have just upgraded me, because I feel like row 5 would be the most expensive seats, but who knows? I'd only want to sit front row for Jonathan Groff's King George. You don't even have to sit front row to be in Jonathan Groff's Splash Zone. I saw him in Merrily We Roll Along, and I was higher up, because even the higher up tickets for that show was really expensive, but I could see the spit, and it was heavy, a heavy flow of spit. And I'm like, I would estimate that he's reaching at least row 3 or row 4, and it's consistent. And if it was me in row 3, mouth would be open. Mouth and heart. But alas, I was on the upper level, so couldn't happen. Sorry, fish. You're gonna get it. Mac, when I was in retail, I would go out of my way to stonewall the rude customers because I'm not supporting their bad behavior. Good. People get a little too much ego when they're talking to customer service, and that we don't appreciate that. But yeah, I love the theater, as you can tell. It's like my dad would work out of New York City for like 2 months out of the year, every year. And we would go up to see him for maybe like 1 or 2 weekends. And every time that we would do that, to make it fun, my mom would get tickets to see a show. And so, and even now that my dad doesn't have that job, we still try to go see a show together once a year. It's harder now that we don't live in the same state because she lives in Chicago, but that's why we saw Phantom of the Opera together. I get my theater love from her. Sorry, Whitney, you chose the bad time to fish. Like, ma'am, you're trying to return something without a receipt. You're lucky you're getting anything back. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Oh, why are you... What happened, Sasha? Ashley, wow, welcome back. Oh, I forgot. I haven't spoken to you in a long time. The bug said that you were coming back. They told me to buy snacks. I thought they just wanted snacks, and I wanted snacks too, so that doesn't matter because you're back. Okay, well now you're happy again. Hey, what's new, Hoppity? Here's a gift. What do I have? A desk? Bookshelf? See, I don't want to give her anything too good because maybe I want to keep it. You want a Turkey Day rug? Do you think you'll do a theme for your island? I feel like that might be too much commitment. I did really like the idea of doing a Wizard of Oz themed one. Or a Five Nights at Freddy's themed one, because I have seen other people do that. But then I feel like you kind of have to, or it would be better, at least, to have specific villagers to fit that aesthetic. But I don't like all of those villagers that I think would be the most screen accurate. Those are really intense themes. Yeah, it's like, it's probably too much work at the end of the day. Like, I'm not going to commit to that. But... Hello, Whitney. Whitney is, I got an NFC chip. Like, I had Dan program that to be like an amiibo card so I could get Whitney in my town. Because I had her in my very first town. In, what's that game? Wild World. And in New Leaf as well, I think. She's my girl. Who is Brad Davis? Sasha is a boy. I forgot about that. Did I misgender Sasha? See, I thought Sasha was unique because I'm like, wow, a lazy villager and it's a girl. But no. To be honest, Sasha can leave. Nana can leave. Honestly, if the other octopi could leave. I'm ready to cleanse some space. I'm really sad because I lost Ketchup. I loved Ketchup, but she moved away. I don't remember how that happened because I'm pretty sure they have to ask your permission to do that in this game, but she left. And I miss her. I loved Ketchup. And that's when Nana moved in. Ugh. Like a Nana. I had her in New Leaf and I couldn't stand her then. I can't stand her now. Can't stand it. Some people do one color islands. I know there's like city themes, cottagecore themes. I think I was trying to go for like a natural cottagecore vibe. And I do think I'm probably going to do something more on the natural side too. Boop, boop. Because that just feels a little more... It's cute, but it also feels a little bit easier for me to pull off with my abilities. Oh, like you! Get out of here! Like, who let you in here? Get off my island. I like how it's socially acceptable, and I'm declaring that it's socially acceptable. It is socially acceptable to just be really superficial and hate on these ugly villagers who haven't done a damn thing to me. Ketchup is the name of my island. I've been trying to find her since I made my island. Oh my gosh, that's a cute name. Mine is Margaritaville, but it's Margville because there wasn't enough space. My idea, of course. Dan may have run the first profile, but I'm really the brains behind the operation. I've only ever played the GameCube Animal Crossing, but Bob has always been my favorite. He's a classic. I had him in, I think, New Leaf. My favorite villager is no one's favorite. It's Dizzy. He's an elephant. He's a lazy villager. He was my favorite, and then he moved away in Wild World, and I've never been able to get him on, like, in an island or on my town since. And I remember I was playing City Folk one time, and I saw him in the square, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I said hi to him, and I, like, genuinely got emotional. There's no greater betrayal as an 8-year-old than your favorite villager moving away and not being able to do a damn thing about it. He's so cute. He's like a very basic design. He's literally just an elephant, which I think is why he's not really popular / I don't really see him. I feel like he's hard to find. But that's my guy. And honestly, Ketchup might be up there too. When Kiki left my first game in Wild World, I stopped playing. And that's valid. Kiki's cute too. All of the cats I think are good. You can't go wrong with the cats. How am I scrubbing this off? What button do I use? Because I've been doing it accidentally a bunch, but who knows? Or I just do this. I've seen people theorize that new Horizon players care about villager aesthetics so much because they don't have as much personality as in the past games. The thing I really wanted them to update more than anything was I wanted them to patch in new villager dialogue. Because I just feel like if you look at the dialogue from the older games, it's so fun and whimsical, and there's just so much more, it feels like. Maybe not even so much more, because it doesn't compare, I think, to Stardew Valley or other sort of games in this genre. But yeah, like I remember they patched in them being able to come to your house, but they made it like annoying, and I feel like they don't say as many fun things. It's not even that the dialogue isn't so varied, it's that I feel like the dialogue is just kind of lame. Like I'm not intrigued, I'm not invested. I need them to bully me like they did in the old games. That's what I yearn for. I bully them because they don't bully me. See, having all of these houses does make it kind of harder to fully wipe out this, doesn't it? We are not going to have a clean island by the time the update comes around, but that's okay. I tried my best. And that's really what matters at the end of the day. Island theme just makes Stardew Valley. I mean, really. Ugh, I love Stardew Valley. I do. I can't believe we're getting a 1.7 update. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if every dev was like Concerned Ape? Like our dear Eric. So blessed. At least with the update, you'll have Rossetti to help clean up. Yes, that is very nice. I'm excited about that. I just wish there was another button to wipe all this terraforming down, but alas. Okay, I need to do this because I can't... Are we going to be able to clear waterfalls in the update without having to do all this? Because I can't knock down the structure without cleaning up the waterfall first. Which is mad annoying. Thank you. It's like I have to fix this river all just to knock it down again. Ah! I feel like they did patch some in, but it didn't really change their personalities enough to make a difference. Mayhaps. Because I remember they at the beginning and for a long time they didn't play games with you. That was one of the other things that they added. And it's like stuff that existed in other games. So it's like, you know, woo! They're adding in features that we just missed from the other games. I don't know. I do feel like people are a little harsh on this game. And I think it's hard for people to have positive feelings about this because this game, we played this game at a very traumatic point in our lives, and we all, or I would say a lot of people, played it more intensely than we would have if the millions of people were not dying en masse, you know? At the time. At least that's part of my experience. Like, part of the reason I had to stop playing was I'm like, I kind of hate that this is my life, that my routine in Animal Crossing is all I have to look forward to in a day. That makes me really sad. I know, Nintendo made it big. Did Nintendo cause the COVID pandemic? Something to ponder. It's a Nintendo game, so I understand the standards are high. This is very true. Very true. But I mean, the crafting feature is fun. I feel like that's the big thing from this. A lot of, I think there's a lot more ways to customize your island in this game than there were previously. So I do feel like it's a net positive for the franchise, but I don't know. I'm excited for the next one, but I feel like because we're getting this update now, that's confirmation that we're not getting a new Animal Crossing like mainline series for like 5 years. I feel like they're gonna do it like at the end of, or at least midway through the Switch's life cycle, the Switch 2's life cycle, rather. Because I mean, that's what they did with this game. This game was mid Switch runtime. Of course, the pandemic came, so that kind of threw off things. I feel like the Switch 2 was meant to come out much earlier than it ended up happening. The new Dream Island cooperating looks fun. Yes! And also, if you can have like up to 8 mini islands, maybe that's where I can do my FNAF or my Wizard of Oz island without having to make the full commitment. I forgot about that. I guess we'll find out. I like this guy. Whoa! I didn't know we could do that. All that. Okay. Direction mapping is... Oh my god. Oh, do I have to chop it down? Sorry, Lorax. I don't think I have an axe. I do not. I love the gyroids. They're so weird. They're my fave. Oh, I guess the items deteriorating is a not so fun thing from this game. For sure. But I feel like, I don't know. I understood the decision at the time because I feel like it was balancing your abilities. Because crafting is such a core mechanic of the game. It was like made that way to encourage you to craft a lot. Like, it's annoying, but I also understand it. I think maybe I'm just a Nintendo schlub, a Nintendo simp, because They sure do take money when they don't from me when they don't deserve it. I sure did buy the Switch 2 with Dan at that insane price. I sure did. When they were making the tutorial demo to the platform, they made that $10. That was crazy town. New physical copies of new games, like AAA games, are $90 now. That's honestly the more insane part than the console price. Madness. Actual greedy... Those greedy bastards. Oh, but I gave in. I pre-ordered. I stood in line at a GameStop in a mall at 8 a.m. and got stared at by an old lady to give them my money. You can dig it up if you eat food and then throw it in the trash. Hey, Amiibo used to be 13 USD. Like the plastic figurines. Gosh. See, at least I have Dan because he hacks for me. And he just programs chips to substitute for Amiibos. Boo, boo, boo. But I know part of it is like having the little collectible. With Animal Crossing though, who cares? Because it's just a little card. You know, the getting the villager that you want is the real fun of it. I guess it's kind of like a blind box too, but y'all know I can't get into that. Why did an old lady stare at you? I would ask the same question. I would ask the same question. She literally did like a drive-by. Like she walked and then she walked back and she was just going like... And the second time she did it, I fully just went... Because one of my pet peeves in public is when I see someone staring at me and they somehow think that I cannot see them. Like if I see, especially this happens frequently with older men, I will genuinely look at them and go like, because no, you should be embarrassed. Because what are you looking at? Don't look at me. I do not want to be perceived. Which maybe that's me doing too much, but I don't know. In the moment, it's like a reflex. It irritates me. Why didn't he craft you a Dizzy card? I guess I didn't ask. I could ask now. But maybe, I'm sure I have plenty of Nook miles. We can try and hunt for him. You could have escalated to hissing. Ooh. I'll keep that in mind for next time. Boop, boop. Man, this is hard work. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Do, do, do. Do, do. Isn't there a new thing in the patch 2 that's gonna stop flowers from growing everywhere? I think. Or am I making that up? I'm mostly talking to myself because I feel like y'all don't know the answers either. But that's the thing. I love flowers where I place them, but then they just grow everywhere. And I was like, I didn't ask y'all to do all that. I designed you to grow in a very specific place, and now you're just growing everywhere. So is your island Midwest themed? It's going to be very flat. So, yes. There's not going to be no flowers, but I got to move these so that I can start fresh. I can't tear down this area without it. Boop, boop. I know you can do that by putting designs around it, to be fair, so it is fixable already. But if there was like a function just like more directly built into the game, that would be nice. Because they're out of control. I have murdered a lot of fish. have... Man, Dan's not even gonna recognize this place. I'm trying to think if he even decorated any part of this island. I don't think that he did. I know he put the lighthouse down on the other end of the island, but... Oh, he put a Godzilla statue down. I think that was his contribution. Do, do, do. Do, do. Are you the primary count? No, Dan is our biggest regret. Because we were so excited, so we were playing together, and the Switch, technically speaking, he got the Switch before we started dating. So it's his Switch. So he played first. He probably would have let me play if I asked, but I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about the implications of him playing first. I was just excited to watch him play. Oh, but it ruined everything because he's at all of the ceremonies for all of the bridges and stuff that I paid for. He's getting all the damn credit, like the man that he is. When he did Josh Dunn about it, you know? That was me. That was me. It's sick. It's sick. I could just play as Dan. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember how to craft. I don't even remember what I need to craft that dang thing. And the store is definitely closed, isn't it? The store's definitely closed, isn't it? Maybe they have extended hours. See this is so annoying. It's so hard to get to the store. I really need to change that. Oh, thank God. Did you hear that my theme is somebody come get her? She's dancing like a stripper. I thought that was hilarious. Hilarious in 2020. Aren't they so cute? I do miss the mega store. I always thought that was fun too. But I kind of like that it keeps the cute, quaint design forever because I love the design of the outside of the store. Do I actually have to? Oh, okay, I can buy it. I know I can craft it, but I don't feel like it. I've got enough on my mind. Do you have any opinions on the Raymond era? You know, he came to my campsite and I think I played a card game with him and lost, so I couldn't invite him. I mean, I thought he was a cute cat. I loved how the internet could not be normal about that damn cat. I think it's hilarious. Again, there was a lot going on in the world, and so we had to focus on and control what we could control. And so what we could control was creating a false scarcity market for this damn cat. Oh, look at that. I'll keep that there. Everybody loves Raymond. He's a good design. He's a cute design. I get it. And he did look good in that maid outfit. Would I pay actual real world money to get him? Well, no. And I don't think anybody would nowadays either. That market has crashed. I also already have Marshall on my island, and I feel like Marshall has a very similar vibe to him anyways. I think they might be the same personality type anyways. Kiki is my favorite cat, but I have a void in real life. Oh, I love black cats. My friend has a black cat. He's very cute. And she's a rescue too. She's lived a life. She was a mother. Her name is Coco. And I remember when they first adopted Coco, we visited them like a week afterwards, and we gave her these treats called Meaty Bites. And they're like these little, they're kind of like training treat size, like kind of small. And we discovered under their bed that she was hoarding the Meaty Bites like she was a hamster preparing for winter. Because she's a rescue. She didn't know how often she could count on these Meaty Bites. So she was just hoarding them under their bed. And I'll never forget that moment. That was beautiful. Goose, on the other hand, would never have the self-control to do such a thing. But when we first adopted Goose, I don't know if he had just never been fed human food before, or if he was just really nervous, but I remember I tried to give him blueberries and he spit it out. Like he didn't recognize it as food or something. He would eat his dog food fine. But if you offered him berries, peanut butter, he was like, "What are you doing to me? Why are you trying to kill me?" Now he loves a berry. He loves a little snack. I mean, he's a lap, so he's food obsessed, always. My family friend's dog was officially named Mr. Coco. Oh, that's cute. Dang, I'm gonna ruin this rainbow. I feel like I'm gonna keep this. But the platform has to go. I'm gonna leave that for now. It's gonna still exist in some form, but I just don't want the raised platforms. I know, I can't get rid of the rainbow. I spent far too long growing all those flowers. The purple rose in particular, I remember being a bitch, so I'm not getting rid of it. Sorry about it. So much for a fresh start. It is giving Wicked. The way John Chu copied me is crazy. Oh, thank you, Kepler. I like it too. I forgot about that. I gotta cook with that. That one little thing. I also really like my campsite area. Like, I think the decor for it is cute. Boop, boop. I did one thing right. That's about it. That's about it. See, like, what are all these flowers doing around here? Is there any rhyme or reason to them? Or did they just grow here randomly? Do you have any pop culture predictions for 2026? Well, it's not so much a prediction because it's probably just going to happen. The Tay Travis wedding is going to be a moment. It's going to be a moment. Someone's going to find out where it is and create a mass hysteria around it. I predict that Cat's Eye... I predict that Cat's Eye will maybe make one song that's good. I don't have high hopes for that. You don't think it'll be a secret wedding? The word on the street from TikTok is people already know or already suspect where it is. That it's like a beach in Rhode Island. Oh, wait, we didn't even talk about the official studio version of Internet Girl. Hang on, pause everything. Pause everything. You're gonna love it. Oh, you guys are gonna love it. I haven't been able to torture you enough with this. Hang on. Let's go. It's even better. So word on the street is they have a full album coming out in April, and they're gonna be playing at Gov Ball and Lollapalooza, so they're planning something big. They're cooking up something, and if it's more stuff like Internet Girl, I am gonna be sad about it. full album. I know. They're not just gonna have 10 songs. They'll maybe have 20 if we're lucky. They'll maybe have 20. It's just like, oh, hi, Bill. Excuse me. It's just, they have so many talented vocalists in that group. There are, I would say, a not insignificant amount of girl groups, especially in K-pop, that just, they can't sing. It's much more about the performance and the vibes. But they have really strong vocalists. And every song that they have almost, besides Gabriella and like a few of their ballads, which their ballads are boring, so it doesn't really help my point. They have songs where they're just talk singing, like not even rapping, just talking. And it's like, that's the kind of song that you give to a group that doesn't sing. They sing. I'm not saying that they have to make like slow, boring ballads, because I don't think that that works for them either. But there has to be something in between. I just feel like there is. Oh my God, can you imagine them playing at the Tavis wedding? Imagine Taylor drunk at whatever award show they're gonna have next year, dancing to Eat Zucchini. That's actually my pop culture prediction. Taylor drunk dancing to Cat's Eye at an award show. It's gonna happen. I insist. Is it correct they've mostly gotten songs written for other artists? I know they work with that one guy. I forget his name all the time. But he talked about how he wrote the song Mean Girls. And he said that he had tried to sell it to other artists, but other artists wanted to take out the line that said, "God bless the T-girls." And he refused to do that. And Cat's Eye was like, "We love the dolls, so we're keeping that." So even though he writes for Cat's Eye, that is like an old song that he was selling. And he's like their most frequent collaborator, so I do think that songs from him are on the older side. Also, Gabriella, all of the writers for Gabriella were all at a 2019 writing camp with Camila Cabello. Why did I pronounce that? Camila Cabello. And I know that song was offered to multiple people prior as well. Like, that song was written in 2019. Which is crazy. And it's one of their biggest hits. It's the one that's Grammy nominated. I don't think it's their best song, but whatever. Not they offered it to me. They were desperate. Do, 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 do. So yeah, Cat's Eye, an interesting phenomenon. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but I'm gonna stick beside them. I'm gonna stick beside them. It's also hard for me to get upset about Internet Girl because, again, I just personally don't think that their music was that great to begin with. So this is kind of nothing new. I just like them as performers, you know? I'm rooting for the girls. You know, sometimes there are artists you like that, you know, it's just more of a vibes thing. I'm manifesting a sophomore album from Chapel. Ooh, I don't think that's in the cards for 2026. I mean, she was making singles for her first album in 2020. I remember My Kink is Karma. I saved that in 2021. I feel like Chapel isn't ready for that yet. I wish that she was, but she moves in her own ways, her own mysterious ways. I know. I wish it were true too. Like the Subway, she also wrote years ago and it took her that long to release. I don't think she listens when she's like Harry Styles in that way. Like, I'm sure her label is pressing her to do more and she's just like, no. which no means no. Like, I respect it. As a fan, it makes me sad because I just want to hear more music. Oh, that's what word on the street is Harry Styles is making a new album in 2026. That he's got a residency booked at Madison Square Garden. That's what they're saying. What do we think about that? I know Benson Boone was sweating when he heard that rumor. I'm honestly not that big of a Harry Styles fan. I mean, I have nothing against him, but I felt like I was in the minority of One Direction fans where I just didn't see what the big fuss about Harry specifically was. I do think he's had some of the best post 1D music out there. And I like some of his songs, but he's not like, I wouldn't say I'm exclusively a Harry fan per se. Can I be honest? I really dislike Benson. I think a lot of people do. You know, my friend's dad ran into him at Sweet Green in Milwaukee. And apparently he was very nice. I was honestly just impressed that my friend's dad recognized him. Yeah, people love to hate on Benson Boone. Sometimes I do feel like the world is a little too mean to that little Mormon boy. Do I think that he makes good music? No, but no. It's surely a lot being told that every damn day. Moonbeam ice cream. Also, have you heard him cover? He covered an Adele song in one of his concerts, and it genuinely sounded beautiful. Like, I forget that he started as an American Idol contestant, because he definitely has that vocal quality to him, and honestly, the taste level of an American Idol contestant. But I feel like if he was making music in the genre of early Sam Smith, people would feel differently about him. Hi, Ty. Long time no see. I'm good. We're trying to clean up the mess I started over here with my island. It's slow progress. Very, very slow, in fact. I don't even know if this has been visually interesting for y'all to watch, but it has to be done. And I don't want to do it by myself, so y'all are stuck with me. Hang on, I should not destroy that. I haven't cleared that area out yet. It's kind of soothing. Yeah, I know. I love a repetitive task. I do feel like that is my true calling. Repetitive tasks. Do 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 do. You think we're here to watch something interesting? Diva, we're here to yap and be haters. You are here to be haters, that's for sure. I just had some gummies, so I'm vibing. Ooh, fun. Aren't you so crazy? Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing about Accutane. You can't have weed gummies. Because you process that through your liver, apparently. And it's bad for your liver to do that. Which, again, was fine for me, because I don't really like weed gummies, but just another way that I'm being so brave. No escapes from reality for me. Oh, this is my rock circle. Honestly, I kind of cooked with this too, but honestly, maybe I actually shouldn't do anything with this area because it's actually kind of set up well. I'm actually not mad at it. I did already fuck it up a little bit, but I did already kind of fuck it up, but we're just gonna leave it. It's fine. It's fine. No, no, no. How else am I supposed to relax or sleep with the way reality is? I hear ya. No judgment for me. Alright, yeah, you can't get rid of that. Alright, let's do it. This is gonna be a big hunk that we're getting rid of here. What? Oh, because, okay. Right. This, right here. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Why is Bill, like, stalking my house, though? You see that? What are you doing outside my house? Oh, what did Blue Star ask? Okay, wait, I have an annoying question. Will there be more playage of pets, cats, too? We could. I wasn't sure if people were interested enough in it. It was a wild premise with that evil wolf and the magic hat. Absolutely. I did download and when I say I did, Dan did download a lot of new Wii games for us to play. I have Bratz games. We also have the Hardy Boys Wii game that we have not touched. There's also, I want to play Achilla's art game. I have a lot of games I want to play. I don't think I saw any of that game, Only Dogs. I feel like you would have been there, but I also feel like you would remember the wolf with the evil the evil wolf with the big magic hat that destroyed the world. I watched Hotchkiss speedrun the Hardy Boys game. Oh my god. That's why we need to play it when Hotchkiss is available. I downloaded Lego Star Wars on the Switch. I love a Lego game. I really do. But also, we're going to be playing some Animal Crossing, at least for a little bit, while the update happens. I was about to say, can I not? I, in fact, can. The way I'm just not going in a straight line. I'm just doing whatever. AC is great to vibe and just yap. It's nice to be back to it. I do not have the strength to start a new island, so this is our best option. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I won't play it for super long, even though I'm excited about the update. I just don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping this designing the island will reinvigorate me. Because I played like so many hours on this. Like I think I played over 400. A crazy amount of this game. Bill, what's Bill pondering up there? Is he thinking about leaving my house? Because I'd appreciate that. I will be here most Tuesdays, except when I am not here with 0 warnings in order to embarrass you. That sounds about right. I feel like it's in everyone's recommended on YouTube, but I watched a Lego Lord of the Rings video where they just play from the Shire to Mordor. It took 13 minutes. Incredible. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Don't you guys love Chris Pratt? Isn't he just your favorite? That rascal. I know he's mine. All right, now I just have a ramp that goes nowhere. Oh my gosh. Stop! Stop doing that. All right, my big goal is really to get this area mostly cleared. And then I feel like we'll be ready for a reset. I mean, I do... There are still, in fact, several things I need to change, like the bridges and the ramps and stuff, but we can work with it. I love him playing characters he has no business playing, like Mario and Garfield. The Super Mario Galaxy trailer does look really good. But I also liked that he really didn't talk in that trailer. It was mostly Jack Black and Charlie Day. I really want a Luigi's Mansion movie with Charlie. I feel like it would go so hard. But they kind of already did feature Luigi's Mansion in the first Mario movie. So I don't have high hopes. Garfield sure did sound just like a guy. I think... I remember I had this conspiracy theory that definitely is not true because he was in other movies, but I like to imagine that the reason he was doing all of these animated roles was because he refused to get vaccinated and you can be in a sound booth all by yourself. But that's definitely not true because he was in Marvel movies and other stuff around that same time. So maybe he just had a passion for voice acting all of a sudden. Or maybe they were just offering him an obscene, ungodly amount of money to give the most basic ass voice. I just think that Chris Pratt's voice is just not interesting or dynamic enough for us to hear it all the damn time. I just don't think so. Okay, well, I tried. Maybe he used his money to remove the vaccine. He would. Do y'all remember when he bought a historic mid-century mansion just to demolish it? Just to demolish it and make his own McMansion on top of it? And it's like, why? Why do people buy homes built by revered architects just to destroy them? Get a different plot of land. Have you seen Heated Rivalry? No, we were talking about this earlier. I remember I wanted to in November, but then I got busy and now I just feel like it's too late. I feel like I got all these other things I'm doing. I do love watching all the press for it. I love that Heated Rivalry is like just a show about two gay guys getting hot and heavy, and it's pulling more numbers than Stranger Things, a show with like millions of dollars behind it. I think that says something beautiful about the world. It is too late. Heated Rivalry is evil. You said that before. What's your beef? What's your beef with Heated Rivalry? Is there discourse I'm unaware of? Don't fall into the hockey pipeline. My friend is such a hardcore... Oh, Trisha. You guys have seen Trisha. It was a long time ago now, but she is really into hockey and figure skating, so she keeps being looped in on all the hockey and figure skating drama. So I remember I texted her and I was like, oh my gosh, have you heard about Heated Rivalry? Because it's a gay hockey romance. And she didn't text me back. Yeah, so, you know, that's going well. Canceled. Cancel my friend. She texted me back later about something else, but I guess the heated rivalry was not enough to get her attention. The fan base is combative. They beefed with sister show I Love LA. Now, why would they do that? Now, why can't we all just be happy? That's such a K-pop thing. Like, the Blackpink fans and the Cat's Eye fans are always beefing about who's better, and it's like, why do we have to decide? Why are we always beefing? And then there's like a clip of Cat's Eye doing Blackpink choreography, and the comments of that video are all filled with, oh my god, they're obsessed with Blackpink. And I'm like, You mean like one of the biggest groups in K-pop? Yeah, they probably are. Why is that a bad thing? Live and let live. We discussed this in the Discord. I've been a little bit AFK. See, I've been in London town. See, I didn't have time to be on my damn phone like all y'all. I just got back from London. I've been happy to see the Discord being so active though. And I appreciate my mods, of course. As always, Madison and Blue Star. I knew that the Discord was in safe hands while I was away. Because I really did try and take like as much of a work break as I could. I was writing every day because I'm trying to write a book, but and honestly it does not feel publishable. I'm maybe like halfway through. I just feel like it's not publishable, but it's like a goal just to be able to do it, whether it's good or not, honestly. So I was writing over winter break, my winter break that I gave myself, but then in London I ended up not writing at all. And then these past 2 days I haven't written at all. So I'm behind. I'm getting behind my schedule that I made for myself. We're 2 weeks behind. All books start out that way. How exciting. I'd read it. See, I feel like people would read it, but the issue is I wouldn't say it's like my main brand, but it's a part of my brand. I do, I love a critique. I love to be a little bit of a hater sometimes about other people's creative work. And I think I do it tastefully, but still, I think that with me being so publicly critical of various things, there is a higher standard of like, okay, well, if I'm going to put myself out there creatively like that, like you better fucking deliver. At least maybe other people aren't putting that pressure on yourself, but I'm putting that pressure on myself. I'm also a writer. I've been applying to MFA programs. When do you start to hear back? That's exciting. Jonathan Firstman critiqued the depiction of gay sex in Heated Rivalry, and then one of the actors responded, kind of clapping back. Then Jonathan made a statement, making nice, and appeared with the other lead of the show, and the cast also appeared with I Love LA at an HBO event. That is kind of tea. Just write a book about criticism. It worked for Ebert. I should. I have been having ideas for other premises that aren't the book that I'm writing. I think it's just being halfway through the first draft, like you're supposed to hate it. But also, I don't know, like I feel like I also don't have like a proper 3-act structure, and it's like, yeah, other books can be good without a 3-act structure, but is it? The way I have it right now, it kind of takes, you kind of have to get halfway through the book for like the big thing to happen. And I'm like, I feel like that just can't work. But who knows? I also ended up writing way more than I thought I was going to up until this point. So maybe the second half, I'll just extend it and cut some of the first half later on so that it does happen sooner. But you need the backstory. You need the backstory. Roger Ebert was of the opinion that even though he criticized movies, he still respected people who could get their movies made. Ebert was kind of cool, actually. He loved some stuff other people called trashy. I actually read a lot of Roger Ebert reviews in that same English class I was talking about earlier, where my professor talked about Nick from Great Gatsby being gay. He also had us read Roger Ebert. He was a man of taste. I didn't fully appreciate him at the time. But But yeah, writing does give you a unique perspective or a unique appreciation for when you're reading a book, because it's like, man, you put in all this effort to get something published. Good for you. That is no small feat. Because even if I did want to get it published, I would be like 3 years out from it actually getting published at this point, you know? Between writing just the first draft, editing it, then pitching it to an agent, depending on how long that takes, maybe doing more re-edits in between, then doing edits again with the agent, and then doing more, and then trying to get it sold, and then doing more edits with the publishing house that took it on, if they did take it on. Like, it's a lot. Do. But I'm not really thinking about that, because again, I don't know if it's gonna be worthy of that just yet, so I can't really stress about that too much. I have one really good idea for a book, but I'm in college with no time. I get that. It's hard. Do. Sit on it, though. Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation was made into a movie. Yes, I want to watch it. Maybe I'll watch that this weekend instead of Heated Rivalry. Truly a shame that YouTube ghost-written slop books are a thing of the past, because you could literally be a prolific author right now. See, you joke, but I was thinking about that. I'm like, damn. I kind of get why they would want a co-writer. Maybe I don't want someone to write the book for me, but if I had someone helping, that sure would speed things along, wouldn't it? Because, again, because it's not a thing that I'm per se getting published, it doesn't, and also people don't make money from books unless you have a platform like Zoella. Like, it doesn't make sense to take away from all the other stuff I'm doing to write. So it is just a big time investment. Like, it's like I'm taking at least an hour every day, basically, to work on this side project. Which is partly why I haven't been watching as much stuff. Yeah, watch the head stuff. We get it, Shlee. You got me. I've never read the book. I've never read an Emily Henry book. I actually haven't really read a romance other than Twilight. But I honestly just feel like the genre in book form isn't for me. I don't know, because I feel like when romances are baked into books, I'm like, oh my god, we get it. Especially sex scenes, I'm like, oh, skip. Like in Intermezzo, I'll just say, I loved Intermezzo, like the second half of it. The first half had way too many sad sex scenes. And it's like, oh my god, we get it. You're hooking up with an older woman and your dad is dead and you're so sad. And also you're hard right now. Like, I get it. I don't need to hear about all that. My eyes would immediately glaze over when I got to those parts. No, I like it visually. I'm down for a romance visually. I'm down for gay porn. I didn't say I didn't like gay porn, but it being in text form doesn't do much for me. Specifically, it being in text form. I'm a visual learner. All right, I want to see the cheeks. Also, a lot of romance books are like fantasy books, and I'm not a fantasy girly either, so. But I feel like a lot of people have stuff to say about Sarah J. Maas and who's the Fourth Wing author? I feel like people say they're not that great of people, / not that great of authors anyways, so I feel like I'm fine. I'm the opposite, honestly. I can read smut, but I want my TV to fade to black after the first kiss. Yeah, like I didn't read smut. I honestly didn't even read fan fiction for someone who was on Tumblr so much. I really didn't. Just wasn't something that intrigued me, I guess. I love a fluff romance, but I struggle to find actually good ones. Yeah, see, I can imagine, because also the market is so oversaturated. Oh, you want to know something crazy I learned? This is probably only exciting to me, but I went to college with this guy, and his cousin DM'd me on Instagram, and she's like, this is a random question, but do you know my cousin? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I watched your channel, and I saw that you were following my cousin. So I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. And so I ran into him, and I was like, oh, your cousin DM'd me. And he's like, oh, was it Abby Jimenez? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah, my cousin, I just assumed that that's who you were talking about, because that's usually who people are talking about when they mention my cousin. His cousin is very prolific romance author Abby Jimenez. And I'm like, that's crazy. That is crazy lore to just have. Maybe I should get her to co-write my book. I'm a fanfic writer, so I have a bias towards Heated Rivalry, and that's beautiful. Isn't Heated Rivalry like also in a series? Like this is a niche for that particular author? An anthology series? Because it's like book number 2, right? They're all on Hoopla, so I could listen to the audiobooks. And they're not super long, so I could do that really quickly. Game Changers, which was a Steve and Bucky fic. Yeah. Anytime I hear about a popular romance book, there's always some fan fiction involved. That's where the best work comes from. I also just can't get behind being in a rivalry in the real world. We are grown adults. Let's get serious. No. I think people should have more rivalries just all around. I feel like that's a lost art form. I would say I have a heated rivalry, actually. A heated rivalry, and I do mean that. With Anna Kendrick. That Anna Kendrick. When I catch her. And what's wrong with that? You saying there's something wrong with that? Yeah, everyone needs a nemesis. That's what keeps life interesting. Ah! There's also like the people from college who are mildly annoying to me in like drama that truly does not matter 10 years later that I still follow on Instagram just to see the chaos that is their lives. Karma is a cat purring in my lap. I also got very fortunate that my nemesis loves to post things that they probably shouldn't be posting on their Instagram stories. Like their Instagram stories are a little bit too messy for the public to consume, but I appreciate it. Like this person I follow, I knew from college. She has a child, okay? And she posted to her Instagram story one day, to all the people saying that my baby is ugly, I just want you to know that your heart is ugly. And I just want to know what kind of people she surrounds herself with, that there are people calling her baby ugly, apparently behind her back. And then making like a subtweet about it on her Instagram story. Oh, it killed me. 2 things can be true. My heart is ugly and also your baby is ugly. Now, the child didn't do anything wrong. Also, this person one time posted on their Instagram story, they had 2 dogs. One of their dogs died, and they posted a video of their other dog crying and screaming at the dead dog in a box. And I had to text like 20 people when I saw that, because I'm like, are you seeing what is happening on their Instagram story? Watch her be a big fan of me. I'm sorry if you're watching this, but that was a crazy thing to post. That was genuinely disturbing for me to watch. Who are we talking about? Just a random person I know. from college. Who was kind of like mildly irritating to me in college for reasons that don't matter anymore. Like really like petty, like we were 20-year-olds sort of thing. But I'm just saying, I like to keep tabs, and in some informal way, they're my nemesis. And by that I mean, I did run into them and we had a lovely small talk. It's just in my head. Well, actually the small talk was strange because I remember, so again, they have children, and I get that being a parent is hard, but sometimes, and they're just venting, sometimes I don't get why parents excessively complain about their lives as parents to people who aren't parents. And I mean, she was like, what time did you get up this morning? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like 7. She's like, oh my God, I can't remember the last time I got up at 7 or the last time I slept through the night. God, you're so lucky. God, I wish I had your life. God, oh my God, children. And I was like, I remember I asked like, oh, how's it going? Cause she like had a with her kid, and she was like, oh my God, I'm like, girl, no one asked you to have these kids. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe a little bit judgy because I understand. It's kind of like, you know, when people complain about work, but that doesn't mean that they fully hate their jobs. I would hope if I had a parent, if I ever was a parent, that I would keep it a little bit in check. I just can't, because I'm not a parent, I just can't relate to it, I guess. Sorry about it. I do enjoy being able to sleep in whenever I want. It's it's very nice, I won't lie. I'm begging people to stop having kids just because it's a societal norm. I hear ya. I'm with ya. Goose is a full-time job. He really is. I love him to death, but I don't think I fully anticipated how much work having a adult dog rescue would be. It took a lot of training, perseverance, anxiety medication for both of us for Goose to get to the place that he is today. And he still barks very loudly often and scares me. And I do worry that he will accidentally poison himself. Because he sure does try. He has 0 survival instincts, you know? But yeah, full-time job, that dog. He's always trying to burn the house down. Yeah. He's always doing too much. It is crazy how surprised people are at the popularity of Heated Rivalry, given the general popularity of yaoi ships and how much of a cult following those ships have had. I get why it's popular. I remember when I first heard about it, I guess I just didn't think that many people would hear about it beyond the gay community. But once it breached containment, like, I understand why it's a big thing. I don't know. Because it didn't seem like a very high budget show either. Like, I didn't see like promotion for it anywhere. Its popularity felt very, you know, organic. I first heard about it from Dylan Joseph Wrights. My love, Dylan Joseph Wrights on YouTube. He's my favorite booktuber. I've told y'all about him before. He doesn't know it, but we're best friends. He doesn't know it, but we're actually best friends. And so I was like, dang, I gotta get in on this Heated Rivalry because he's talking about it. The edits are so good, it's not funny. Oh my gosh. You know who really cooks with the edits? The Challengers fandom. It is amazing what these people are still capable of doing after all this time. Insane work. No one is doing it like the Challengers community. Magic. Exactly. How's that? All right, as far as I can go here. I mean, I just love an edit, a CapCut edit in general. It's a beautiful art form. I do think it deserves a spot at the Oscars. And it'll get there one day. Copacabana. I mean, more like TV creators and companies should have caught out by now. People always doubt the impact of gay people. They do. Gay people and teenage girls, they're like, oh, only teenage girls and gay people are going to like this show. It's probably not going to do very well. Becomes the most popular thing on earth because teenage girls and gay people are just the best fans you can have. Like, they will do all of the promotional work for you because they live on Twitter or whatever Twitter equivalent these days. I want to enrich myself because I enjoy being enriched and learning with good media, but then I don't know when I'm supposed to turn my brain off and just enjoy something, even if it's lowbrow. Such a limited time in a capitalist world. I hear ya. Like these days I haven't really been watching. It's been a minute since I feel like I've watched a TV show that wasn't Once Upon a Time or The Real Housewives, which is certainly not highbrow media. But even on YouTube, I haven't been watching as many video essays and stuff. I watch a lot of St. John Drowning and Jen McAllister play Roblox games. That's kind of all it's been lately. I've just been binging St. John Drowning, which we love, the Corey sisters. Finished season 1 of Lost. Oh my gosh. What'd you think? The finale's crazy, you know? The finale is so good. The opener of season 2 is one of my favorite scenes in like all of TV history. You'll know what I mean. Walt! Oh my gosh, that part in season 1 where Walt is on the raft and Vincent chases after him in the water. Oh, Vincent. There being a dog on the island had me genuinely stressed. Oh, that sweet little dog. See, Smoshing Good Mythical Morning are my chill content right now. I go through phases with Good Mythical Morning where I'll watch a lot of it and then it'll be months before I pick them up again. Even though they have a daily show. I'm too baked into with the binge model, unfortunately. And then, of course, drama content is my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I think because I'm, like, too tangential to drama stuff with the stuff that I make, I don't really watch that as much anymore. But before YouTube was my full-time job, I did watch that quite a bit. But honestly, that content more than Roblox was melting my brain a little bit as well. We're so close. I just want to get this area done. It's still going to look a little crazy, but we've got a little bit more of a blanker canvas to work with now. See, the hard thing is, I feel like with Animal Crossing, you do have to pre-plan a little bit, like what the pathways are gonna look like. Or just have more of a intuitive design mind that I don't possess. Because that was my big problem with this island, is the paths were just kind of nonsensical. And some of the terraforming I had just was not functional for getting around. I need to improve upon that with this new version. I try to be mindful of whose drama content I consume because it can definitely be toxic, but I love the tea. I mean, I feel like I just get my drama from other places because I watch Real Housewives. So I am certainly not above any of that. Plus I see stuff through TikTok and Reddit too. I just feel like I don't watch it on YouTube specifically anymore. Who are your islanders? Ugh. Kiniko? Not even gonna lie. I don't even know, but I have this, the name, but I have this ugly orange monkey that I did not ask for. Also, second monkey I did not ask for. Nana. Get Nana out of here. I have all 3 of the octopuses. Octopi. Octopuses. I have Sasha. Whitney. How do I pull up my map, actually? I can just show you. Oh, is it on my... It's on my phone, probably, right? Here we go, yeah. Oh, Bunny! This is Dan's favorite Animal Crossing character. Tammy can also go. Bill was my first villager on this island, and we're really good friends. He's kind of, low-key, he's boring, but like I kind of don't have the heart to get rid of him. And Marshall. Oh, I love Marshall. I did use an amiibo card to get Marshall. So, Whitney, Marshall, love. Marina, love. Oh, I guess I got rid of the other octopus. I don't even remember doing that. Or squid. Are they not even an octopus? Yeah, like Octavian, I'm kind of over. I'm in for some new fresh faces. I think Bill is trying to move away because he was like stalking around my house, pondering something, but it's not Bill that I want to go. It's the other ones. Bye, sister. I remember that was a cultural reset. Nothing will match Bye, sister. Now, what did Tammy do? So I used to have a different one. Is she a bunny? She's like a casino girl. And I loved her. And she was so much cooler than Tammy. Tammy just doesn't compare. I do love the microbangs. I just didn't ask for Tammy. I didn't have a say in Tammy being here. Or a lot of these ones. And I don't even know how that happened. Because part of New Horizons is you mostly pick who the villagers are that come to your island. But I don't know. I let things slide. Or I made some terrible choices that I don't remember making. Because here they are. And I want them off. I want them gone. All right, almost there. Hang on, what am I? Okay. Let me shovel you away. Tammy, do not come. Do not come to my town. Oh, my pockets are full. Ooh. Whatever. Whatever. I didn't even want to shovel that anyways. Granted, we've made a lot of progress, so I am fairly happy with where we've gotten. We've certainly got enough space to work with to redesign things. I do regret slightly destroying my campsite, but it's fixable. It's fixable. The stores are going to be hard because they're up on a platform, and I think I have to move them off to destroy it, and then I got to move them back. So I don't even know where I'm going to move them. Oh my gosh. Did I not get any of that because of this damn bamboo? Alright, that's fine. I'll just have this random little island that no one can get to. This used to be my zen garden area, and I'm not feeling zen! Why are you destroying the environment again? So the new update comes out on the 15th, on Thursday, and I'm using the update as an opportunity to redesign my island. because I kind of hate the way it looks. And at least while everybody else is playing the game, I'll have more motivation to do so. Plus, there are going to be a few new furniture items. To be fair. But also, destroying things is fun. This has been really relaxing. I feel like I'm crocheting, you know? Like I could have just put on a podcast and zoned out. But I'm the podcast. I also make all sim builds extremely inaccessible and inconvenient for prettiness too. See, the thing is, I don't even think the aesthetic was worth it. It just didn't. I had a vision in my head and it didn't come out. But it's like, oh my god, I had put in like 20 hours into this damn thing, so I'm gonna keep it. And I don't know, I feel like functionality isn't as important with The Sims. But with Animal Crossing, when you're like running around, because you're trying to fish and you're trying to get a slingshot stuff, like having to hop around instead of just being able to run gets annoying. I have yarn and a crochet needle I've yet to use. I made one beanie. That's all I've crocheted. And I crocheted it with like the wrong thickness of yarn. So the hat was too big to actually be wearable. I had fun doing it. It was also messed up in several places. My sister is really good at crocheting. Or I think she knits. She doesn't crochet. Because she made me a sweater for Christmas. That's how you know she's good. Also, Adeline the Battleline, hello! Thank you for the resub for 25 months. Money for Dan. Okay, I will be keeping it for myself though. That's so sweet. I'm gonna be keeping it for myself. Oh my gosh, it's really happening. Oh, it's actually less complete than I thought, but still, this whole place used to be a platform, this whole area. I'm thinking I could start making stuff so I don't have to pay for people's gifts. Yeah, you're just paying for really expensive yarn and putting in hours and hours of labor. But I mean, yeah, that is the secret, I feel like. That's what my sister does. I got her, see, and it's a circle because I got her a gift card to like a really nice yarn store in Germany where she lives so that she can keep making me sweaters. I call that an investment. They should be paying me for my time and effort. In fact, oh my gosh, when Aspen, so, I don't know if you remember, but if you look at my Larry Stylinson video, I'm wearing the sweater that Aspen from Made in the Moment made for me for my birthday. They don't do commissions, but Dan DM'd them and asked, and oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. The first thing out of my mouth was, I hope you paid them well. I hope you paid them well, because this is an insane amount of work went into making this. And Dan was like, yes, I paid them what they suggested. And it was really cute because Aspen then sent me a picture. They had sent a picture to me earlier of them knitting the sweater, and I just like didn't know that that was my sweater that they were making, like while watching one of my videos. Aspen's so sweet. That was very sweet. I'm glad they're slowly getting back to reposting, if you haven't already seen what they've been up to. So your sister lives in Germany. Why did you leave the motherland? We both did. She moved back. She's there for grad school. She's an aerospace engineer. She has a real job. And she's going to better her employment and education by going to grad school in Germany. But also I think she and her boyfriend just like living abroad. I think originally they were supposed to be coming back, but you know, things in America aren't going so well. I don't know if you've heard. Not that Germany is like so perfect either. I think like 20-30% of the Germans in the last election voted for basically a far right party. Oof. Oof. But you know, it's still better than how it is here. And also they just like the work culture there because everyone's unionized and like people have healthy work-life balance relationships, which does not exist in America. And so they're like, they feel like they would have a hard time going back to working in America now that they've been working in Germany for a few years. Twitch streamers do more for society than aerospace engineers. I know. All she did was work on planes, and who needs those? Planes are a godless place, as I've demonstrated. See, that's kind of the only options when you're an aerospace engineer. You're either like building weapons of mass destruction, working for NASA, working for SpaceX, or working on planes. She chose working on planes. I mean, not terrible, you know? Oh, queer. Hello. Would you like to come over? I just cleaned up this morning and I want to show you my place. Sure. I think I may have decorated this place. That sounds so cool. I'd love to work in a country that's normalized workers' rights. Yeah, like at-will employment isn't a thing in Germany. Like, it takes a lot for someone to get fired in Germany. That's just like not a thing that Germans have to stress about. And that's like a crazy concept to me. See, I decorated this. Honestly, it could be improved. But Marina had one of the ugly like pre-builds. You know when you get like your first villager moved in, they have like all wooden furniture instead of their like normal house? She had that. So I was very happy when they added the DLC and I could redecorate. But honestly, looking at it now, I would redecorate again. It's a little hard to look at. The pink lighting kind of sends it into overdrive. Yeah, the streamer lights. Someone got a little too excited, I think, with the decor. Sorry, Marina. You're leaving? Sorry. Are we gonna kiss? I mean, it's been so nice having you here. There's no need to rush off so soon. Am I literally trapped in her house? Made sure everything was just right before you got here. Thank you. That was a short visit. Oh my god. What do you want from me? I feel like kissing her could be difficult. No, I mean, it's further out for easier access. I don't know what this woman wants from me. Why don't we play a game, queer? I want to play a game. Maybe later. Fair enough. This may not be the right time. I'm gonna be sick. Are you not letting me leave? Sometimes I worry I might be boring my guests. You are! I hope you feel comfortable enough to tell me if you're not having fun. I'm not. Let me leave.
It's up to you as Radio Rebels.
Exactly. Well, thanks for the visit. Almost forgot. I want you to have Marina's photo. Oh my gosh! You've already got your hands full. I'll just mail this to you. Wait, I got her photo. Aw, that's exciting. I'll hang that up. I guess it's gonna get mailed to me. Oh. I feel like I should have gotten her photo already. She was literally like my third villager ever. She's been here the whole time. But we love her. We do. Okay. Not bad. Not terrible. See, all of this is cleared up. It is a little bit annoying that the walkways are still here, now they're just slightly messed up in the areas where I scraped off. But I feel like once we get the bridges and stuff out, we're really gonna get to redesigning things. I'm really begging you not to leave. I'm sorry, I cannot fix the loneliness crisis all by myself. And isn't that a powerful statement? Should Ashley work 70 hours a week like a American? See, you know what's funny about that? Is Dan is convinced that, one, I work more now that I'm not a lawyer, and two, that I work more than him. Which, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of hard to track my work. Because, like, if I'm making a video on Once Upon a Time, does watching 10 episodes of Once Upon a Time really constitute work to me? No. You know? Like, I work, but it's stuff that I enjoy. / a lot of it is just, like, not challenging. So I work a lot, but it doesn't feel like I work a lot, you know? She's German Latina, so it's not her problem. This is true. The duality of me. Boo. But sometimes I irritate Dan because I have a hard time. I have a hard time stepping away sometimes. Do, 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 do. Do, do. You should try logging your billable hours. Oh, don't remind me. That was the worst part of being a lawyer, more than anything. I feel like the concept of billable hours is so set up for specifically people with ADHD to fail, because the way my mind works is I work in short bursts with like lots of little breaks. And I'll get the same amount of work done as someone who is like working for 3 or 4 hours straight. But in actuality, my work time may be like 2.5 hours or 2 hours. And it's like, do you count the breaks? I don't think you're supposed to count the breaks. Like, it's in such a weird, I don't like it. I don't like it. There's also like, I feel like a lot of unspoken rules with lawyers where I'd be like, oh, okay, how long is this supposed to take? And the boss would be like, it takes as long as it's supposed to take. But then you hand it in and he's like, oh, you did that really fast. I'm like, okay, so I was supposed to be taking longer doing this. Cool. And now that I've done it faster, that means I just have more work to do now. So I'm being punished for working more efficiently. Okay. Would you work for the law firm in All's Fair? It seems like there were a lot of ethics problems raised in that show. They were breaking all the rules. The way they would have been disbarred like that. Shout out ADHD, have it. At least nobody can fire you for billing too many now. Just the internet, I suppose. Boop, boop, boop. All right, I am going to wrap it up here. It's 10:15. I didn't even realize it's been that long. It's just been so long since I've seen y'all. Oh my gosh, she's wearing my college sweater. I love that. So I'm thinking when the update comes out on Thursday, we're going to play a little more of this. Oh, and a Blue Star poll, of course. Beautiful, beautiful. Do, 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 do. Ah! So loud in my ears. Do, do. Oh, this Animal Crossing music has rain as well. Oh, nice. Okay, that's all I got for tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. But I missed y'all. It was good hanging out with y'all again. We'll be back. We'll be back to our regular schedule. And I've got a lot of fun games for us to play as well. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, join the Discord if you haven't already. And have a good rest of your night. Bye.